Hello. Hello, friends. Hello. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, goodness gracious. Oh Lordy. Hi friends. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy day 1100. Oh, hang on. Little ads playing. Skip ads. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Happy day 1100. Hold on. Oh, I was turning up. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing over here. Golly. Yeah, you would think after 1100 days I would have it down, right? Yeah. So 1100 days, you guys. That is what today is. I'll come back to that in a second. Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a big day. It's a big day. We have a big celebration happening here at Lail by Mail, which is my house. That's just where it is. That's where Lail by Mail is, my house. Now, there's some people that help me that are in all different parts of the country. Another person in Utah, someone in Southern California, someone, oh yes, was Hawaii, now Southern California again, and someone in Arizona. Oh, and then another person in Utah. So it is, a lot has changed in the last 3 years. But today is a big day because I swear, you guys, I'm going to be so emotional, which is not me. It's not me. If you know me, it's not me. 3 years ago on March 21st, very beginning of the pandemic, I put a video on YouTube because we were all, literally pandemic had just started. And it was a crazy time. That Monday, the whole world had shut down because of the pandemic, and we were all kind of reeling. And then here in Utah on Wednesday, we had an earthquake, and it was just kind of one thing after another, and it was crazy time. And so that week, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I've got to get my mind off things, and what could I do to try to give something back to our community, our crafting community, to take their minds off things. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video on something that I'm very passionate about, traveler's notebooks. And so that first Saturday, March 21st, 2020, it wasn't live. I had never really done anything live on YouTube before, but it wasn't live, pre-recorded. And Nick, my husband, and Sam, who was our college freshman at the time, who had just come home from college because, you know, that's what was happening back then. We sat in our living room and watched it, and it was a premiere, so everybody was chatting. And you guys, that was 1,100 days ago. 1,100 days. And here we are 3 years later. Every time I'm in town, we are here on Saturdays on my YouTube channel, and we do what I like to call creative listing. So that is the first part of today's celebration, this big 3-year anniversary that I couldn't do without you guys. So clearly I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, because I would be here just talking to myself, which is what I do most of the time anyway. So, but really it wouldn't be without you guys. The other celebration today, it is a 4-year celebration, and it is a little premature. April 1st was the very first day of 2019. So 4 years ago, April 1st was my very first day of turning my side hustle into a full-time thing. I left my job on March 31st at Simple Stories. I'd worked there for 6 years and decided I was going to try and go on my own. And here we are 4 years later. And again, wouldn't also be here without you guys for that as well. So today is cause for big, big, big celebration. 3 and 4 year anniversary. You guys, we have a full day in store. This first morning session, we will go until noon Pacific time. And we'll take an hour break so I can be fed. I know that sounds horrible, but that hour break goes very quickly. So Nick will have lunch for me, and I'll hurry up and eat and kind of take a breath. And then we'll be back again starting at 1 Pacific. And we will go until 5:30 Pacific at least. Sometimes I have a hard time stopping. So that's the plan for today. You guys, it's like a big open house. Come and go as you please. You don't have to stay for the whole time. If you want to say hello as you pop in, that's great. If you want to say goodbye as you leave, that's great, but you don't have to. This will be available also replay, you know, in perpetuity. I don't know. It'll be on replay as long as YouTube is around. And that is really important because I know life, right? And not everyone can watch live. It's always beneficial for you to come back and watch after the fact, because I always do prizes. Every Saturday we're together, I do prizes. And look at that spreadsheet. I'm whole brained. Half of me thinks in spreadsheets and half of me thinks artistically. So that is a whole bunch of prizes. And I'll be splitting those up between morning session and afternoon session. And then also we'll be doing some live prizes. So those of you that are here live will have a chance to participate in a live prize. And then even if you were here live, you can still go back and we'll talk about how you can participate in prizes after the fact. So I'm going to, in a second, look down at the chat, because the chat's really important part of anytime we're together. And it's a very important part of today, because that's how I connect with you guys. If you're watching live, there is a live chat that takes place. I see it over on the right-hand side of my screen, depending on what kind of device you're looking at, whether it's your big TV, which scares the heck out of me that here's this on your big giant TV. Whether it's your TV, whether it's your laptop or your computer or your iPad or your other kind of device, your phone, whatever it is. Depending on your view, you may see the chat in other places, but the chat's a really fun place to be, especially on a Saturday. This is a great place for everybody to pop in and say hello. There's this nice little community that you guys have built. I'm not going to say me, because I haven't done it. It's you guys that have built this amazing little community over the last 3 years. So that's where the community comes together, is in the chats when we're together. So I am going to quickly take a look at the chat. Well, not quickly, because I'm going to, we'll chat for a little bit. If you're curious as to the plan or the plan of attack or schedule or agenda or whatever it is for the day, you will see that on my blog, laelbymail.com. Click on blog or click in the description box of the video. There is a link towards the top that says these are the, this is the plan for today or something like that. But we'll tell you, I can't say exactly, but it'll tell you what my plan is for the first morning session that we're in right now, and then for the second session. One quick thing that I need to mention about those 2 sessions, because we are taking a break in between. That means there are 2 separate videos. So this morning's link, you guys are all here. Those of you that are here and those of you that are watching the replay, you know where you are. You're watching part 1. When we break, we will not continue with this first link. There is a separate link, again, in that blog post for this afternoon session. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, let's look at the chat so I can say hello. And I know I've missed a ton of things, you guys. I know I could see on my my camera, my iPhone, all kinds of things scrolling by. So I know I've missed a ton. I will go back on this one for sure, and I want to read all of that chat, because I want to see what you guys are saying. One really quick thing that's important about the chat, the way that I do prizes live is through the chat. So Nick, my husband, is here all day. I said, hey, do you want to help me come clean up as I go? He's like, I am at your disposal. So whatever he's going to do today, he already made me breakfast. He's such a good guy. Anyhow, he will be watching the chat throughout the day, and he's just going to pick a time. He'll have times picked in his head. Let's say, and this is an example. Let's say in his head it's 11:34. So when 11:34 rolls around, he's going to look at the first comment as he can see it. It may be a little looser than that. And 11:34. So it has nothing to do with the comment says or the chat says. It's that person, and he'll come in and he'll interrupt us and tell us that's the winner. So lots of prizes today. But so chat's important throughout the day. And I have no idea what times he's thinking of or figured out it is. All I have is my spreadsheet. I just have to remember to write winners down. Okay, guys, so I see Wanda. I see Jen. Hi, Tracy. Oh, Tracy sounds like she's already got other plans, but she hopped in to say hello. Tracy, no worries. FOMO, that was one of the acronyms that was on our list when we listed a couple weeks ago, fear of missing out. Here's a nice thing, you guys, about this. Even if you can't make it live, you can, pop in and catch the replay and whatever you want to do. Hi, Joanne. Oh, okay. Mindy and Kim are both here. Hi, you guys. Kelly said congratulations. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much. Roxanne, yes, we have a very fun day planned. Anne, hi, Anne. I'm going to point Anne out. Anne said it's her first live since June, when her mom went into hospital. And she passed away in November. I'm so sorry, Anne. We're so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. But I am glad that you are here with us today, and maybe can have a little spark of joy in, just from today. Hi, Shirley. Shirley and the Bettys. So you guys will hear me talk about someone very soon who is with Shirley, Big Cheryl, and a number of other wonderful ladies in Fallbrook, California. And that one person is very special, and you'll just wait a minute and see. So hi Janelle. Janelle says she's been here with from the beginning with me. Thank you. Hi Denise. All right. Organized Blessed Mom said hello from Houston. I was just in Houston at the beginning of March, and oh my goodness, had the most amazing time. We went to the rodeo twice. And the Houston rodeo, let me tell you what, you guys, like that is the rodeo. I mean, if you're going to go to a rodeo, you might as well go all out and go to Houston. TK, new Traveler's Notebooks. Not yet. I actually have the 3 of them here. There's one small color change that they are making for me. And I'm waiting for that third one, that third sample to get here. But then they are ready, and then they will go into production. So for sure we'll have them this summer. I don't know a specific date yet, because until I pull the trigger and place that order with the factory in China, then they will tell me kind of production date and then ship date and all of that. So we're close. As soon as I don't know, I'm not ready to show today. Definitely not. I gotta get ready for that mentally. But yes, they're coming. Very excited about those. My new, my own Traveler's Notebook inserts and my own Traveler's Notebooks, which 1,100 days ago, if you guys had told me in 1,100 days, in 3 years, I would have my own line of stamps, washi, rulers, pencil boards, notebooks, all the things, pens and pencils, I would have just told you were crazy and just chalked it up to the pandemic, because that's, everything was so surreal then. But yeah, that's where we are. So thanks to you guys. Alrighty. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Once I get to the point where I flip the camera, it's much easier for me to see the chat. It's going by so fast right now. If I miss something, and I just happen to see, I can see pretty easily things that are in uppercase. Now, don't everybody start doing uppercase, or then that kind of negates the whole thing. But if you have something I need to see, or if you have a question, or if you have a comment once we get going that you would like me to respond to, uppercase makes it a lot easier for me to see. Kathy, yes. Kathy said, Nick, you are the best with all the planning and designing you do for Lael. Now, Kathy, I must have missed one of Nick's comments. Hang on. You know what, honey? Will you bring me Kleenex? Because because I was tearing up a little bit earlier, and I'm sure it's going to happen more. So can you bring me some Kleenex, honey? Forgot that. Yes, TK, dot grid, lined and blank inserts. Yep, and you'll be able to get them in just the lined, or just the dot grid, or just the blank, because that's generally what we want, right? The nice thing is, it's because I do all of these things with you guys, I have a pretty good idea for what we want, because you guys tell me, which I love when you tell me. Phoebe, thank you. Phoebe said, so happy for all the good things that came and still coming your way. You guys, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be here without you guys. And I mean that so sincerely, because I would have no customers to buy things if it wasn't for you guys. And I would have nobody to hang out with on Saturdays if it wasn't for you guys.
Oh, you can hang with me.
Oh, I can hang. Sorry, honey. Okay. Did you hear that? Nick said, you can hang with me. Okay. So yeah, anyhow, I don't know if you heard that. I said, I wouldn't have anybody to hang out with. You can hang with me. Now, if you know Nick, and you know our Saturdays, he's either like popping in the chat from the ski lift, or popping in from the golf course. So he's really not here much on Saturdays. Thank you, Pamela. Pamela said, we love you. Yes. Okay, guys. So, lots of things to look forward to. All right. Housekeeping. So really quickly to recap, 2 different sessions today, morning and afternoon, 2 different YouTube links. Best place to get all that information is just go to laelbymail.com and click on the blog. You will see that post right there. It'll tell you the lists we're doing. It'll tell you the demos. It'll tell you all different kinds of things like that. And then prizes throughout the day. Oh, this is a really big one I need to mention. Today, and this happens once a year. Last year was the first year that I did it, because the first year there wasn't an anniversary. That was the first year. But last year was the first time I did this, and this year, so this is the second annual 27-hour sale on Lail by Mail products. So anything that is Lail by Mail branded, the stamps, the washi, you'll see under the exclusive section on my website. What are you doing?
Somebody wanted me to pop in
Oh,
so
okay.
they could see what
Since
I
you
look
hadn't
like.
showered, maybe you can. Well, he'll pop in again, maybe after lunch, after shower. Nice of you to put a hat on,
I'm
though.
not going to shower today.
Nice of you to put a hat on. You guys should have seen his hair. It was like heat miser, but it's like salt and pepper gray and not heat miser red orange. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So today started last night, runs through today. Today is Saturday, March 25th at midnight Pacific time. 15% off on all of my Lail by Mail branded products, including 6 brand new stamp sets. So that is what we're going to lead into, you guys, the 6 brand new stamp sets. Now, obviously, I'm a planner. I have been planning today for a long time. Also planning the release of those 6 new stamp sets. Also planning the big sale that started last night. And wouldn't you know it, when everything went live last night at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, because that's my time, 9 Pacific, for some reason, 4 of the 6 brand new stamp sets would not appear no matter what I did. I have thousands of products on my website. I don't know that one. I couldn't figure out. So it took about a half an hour. I finally had to create them all over again. But if you had started shopping last night and thought that you could only get the stamp sets in a bundle, that's not the case. So go back and look, because now they're all available individually. And you know what? Tell me, like, pulling my hair out, saying all the swear words, because that's what I do when it's just me. Oh, Nick said watch for Sam in the chat. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. I think it is now time. Oh, one quick thing. I know a lot of you have already shopped already, and thank you. It's not uncommon that as I start going that you see things that you're like, oh, shoot, I already ordered. You can add to your order. There's 2 ways that you can do that. Number 1, you can just email me and say, hey, will you add these things to my order? No, usually that's what I would recommend, because it's a little bit easier on all of us that way. All of us, me and you. However, on days like today, sometimes things will go pretty quickly. Now I have lots of stamps, so those shouldn't be a problem. But if you're looking at some other things, sometimes they will sell out from under you. Even if you've emailed me and told me, I won't be able to get to those for a while today, right? So best bet is to place another order. When you do that, please send me an email and say, I placed multiple orders, please ship them together. As long as you do that, then I can ship together for you and then refund the shipping when those orders ship. So you only pay shipping once. Even though you're placing multiple orders, you'll be charged shipping all those times, because that's just, it's a new order. But I can take care of that on the back end when your order ships. One more thing, my friends in the EU, the European Union, you know your countries, you know where, what countries those are, and you know if you're one of those countries. I have opened up shipping to the EU with some caveats based on your VAT tax rules and regulations. Those were in an email that went out the other day. Basically, your order value has to be $185 US. And then I can ship to you, and then you pay the taxes and duties on your end. So if you have any questions about that, email me and we can go from there. But I can also hold orders until you get to that point. But anyhow, all right. So thank you guys. Welcome. And you guys are in store for a super fun day. We have lots and lots and lots to share. Me, maybe Nick once in a while. And then of course, our little scatter friend. So, Diane, okay, Diane said, hi, Lail, my first time, very excited working on my first Traveler's Notebook. Welcome, Diane, and welcome to everyone, but especially welcome to those of you that are brand new, or those of you that are your lurkers that like to kind of just sit back and watch. You know what I want from you today? All I'm going to ask for is that you just pop in and say hi. Just pop in and say hi. You can leave again, but just pop in and say hi. Sorry, Becky said you need to pose with Nick so we can do a photo. Okay, we'll do that after lunch. How about that? Or after our break. Okay, guys, I'm going to flip the camera and we are going to look at our 6 brand new stamp sets. But as part of that, I have to tell you a story about how it all started. Okay, so hang on. I'm flipping the camera. And then, Isioma, hello, my friend. Oh my goodness, how are you? Isioma's in Nigeria. It is Yomi. You've been with us for a while, and my dear, I still have your orders. So whenever you're ready, whenever you are ready, you just reach out and let me know. Nice to see you. All right, friends. So I have a little story to tell. Thank you, Scrapbook Sister. I think I will do that. Here's my water. Here's my water. Hi, Sky Angel. Getting ready for work. Have a fabulous day at work. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. All right. Hi, Natasha. Oh, Marie. Yes, thank you. If you guys would give the video a thumbs up. I mean, if you're here, give the video a thumbs up. I sure appreciate that. And Colleen. Colleen, I call her our resident mom. She is always so good because I have forgotten this. She's always there reminding me when I flip the camera to plug the phone in. So we are good there. Hi, Lisa. Lisa said, I just placed my second order. Can't promise I will not be placing another. It's all good, hun. It is all good. Okay, friends. Stamps. So I want to tell you a little story. I want to tell you a little story about someone that I met. I think it was 6 years ago. And I met Christine at an event that I was teaching for my friend Lizzie Lou. This was the very first event that I taught at for Lizzie. And I was a little nervous because I didn't know any of the people. And as I was walking around kind of looking at what everybody was working on, I stopped at Christine because she was working on her, I think it was like her Project Life album or her Pocket Page album. And I was so struck by what she was doing. Her style just was right up my alley. It was a mixture of a bunch of different things, and she had different memorabilia and different things like that in her project or in her, in her scrapbook. And we just started talking for a while, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that Dave Matthews? She said, oh yes, my boyfriend and I, we love Dave Matthews. We love to go to his concerts. So then we bonded over Dave Matthews. And then I didn't see Christine for a little while. Saw her a couple times here and there at one of Lizzie's events. And then the pandemic hit. Pandemic hit, and obviously everything changed. And one day, Christine messaged me on Facebook, and she said, hey, I have a really good list idea that I think might be something fun to work on one of your Saturdays. So this is 6 months. 6 months into the pandemic. And she said, we're all so hung up in all the bad things that have happened the last 6 months. She said, what if we do a list about the good things that happened in the last 6 months? And I thought, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So you guys, we did that list. Now, I don't have the Traveler's Notebook because all of my Traveler's Notebooks are with Amy, who has photographed every single one of my lists for the idea book. She still has them as we are kind of wrapping up the idea book, but this is that list. So this list is something that Christine had recommended, and I thought, oh my gosh, such a good topic. Good stuff about the last 6 months. And this was September 19th, 2020. So fast forward, I did not see Christine again until October of 2022. And October of 2022, I was teaching in another one of Lizzie's events, and Christine popped in, and she hung out with everybody for a couple of hours, and she said, Lael, I need to show you something. I thought you might want to see this. And she handed me this book, and it was, it was like this size, okay? Like this size. So it's like 8.5 by 11. Large, large, large. And I'm like, Christine, what is this? And it was like huge and bulging at the seams, and I'm like, what is this? And she said, that is my listing book that I was working on all the Saturdays during the pandemic. And I am holding this masterpiece in my hand, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I sat there for about an hour, and I looked through every page, and I was just so flabbergasted. And so I went to Christine, and I said, so I have an idea. Would you be interested in working with me to create some stamps? And she said, what? And I said, yes, yes, yes. So I asked her if I could take pictures of some things in her book that would help me kind of remember what I liked. And that would be kind of an inspiration point for us to start working together on some stamp sets. So I don't have her book, but what I do have is some of the photos that I took from the pages in her book. So I just thought I would show you these, but you can start to get a feel for Christine's style. Everything she does is hand drawn. So all of that hand drawn. I think the yellow, I don't know, that yellow may have been a die cut or something, but that Saturdays with Lael, hand drawn. These are all things, you guys, that she had been doing. Like that was September 26th. That would have been of 2021. But look at the letters and look at the letters there. Look at here. Saturdays with Lael, January 2nd, 2021, all of her artwork. You guys, all of this stuff was in her listing book. All of these just amazing. Like, look at that circle with the wreath. What's so cool about how she was listing with us, she was doing things a little bit different. Good morning, everybody. Saturdays with Lael. Look, she even made a little clip. I'll show you what she was doing a little bit different in a sec. And Christine couldn't be with us today. She will be with me on Wednesday night. We'll do a What's New Wednesday on Wednesday night, and she'll pop on with me on YouTube live. But she is with a bunch of ladies having fun crafting and scrapbooking in Fallbrook, California right now. So she couldn't be with us live, but I know she is in the chat. So Christine, you have to pop in and say hello. She is the most humble person that you have ever met and has a heart, honestly, a heart of gold. And I love her dearly. But here, so look at all of these things, all of her work. This she just shared within the last couple of days on her Instagram. Her Instagram is called Pop Daisy Art. This is an example of one of her lists. This was from February 27th, 2021. And this is how Christine took what I was doing on a Saturday and made it her own. Sometimes she would list with us, but you guys look at what she was doing. Week 50 on Anita's 50th birthday. These were all things I was saying. Lurker, that's me. That's what she said. She's an artsy one. Happy Saturday, everyone. I had said the week one video at that time had 30,000 views. Next week's prize, leave your biggest pet peeve. But she was basically just as her way of being crafty on a Saturday, but kind of getting her mind off things. Winner chicken dinner. She listed Kimberly Park one. She won a new Lael by Mail scattered thought stamp. People who this is what I was talking about back then. People who thumbs down on videos they're stupid. But you guys look at this. Warm welcomes and big hugs. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Anna. Hi, Joellen and Tracy, Lizzie, Sandy, Wanda, Joanne, or Shirley, Donna, Cheryl, Marley. Look at this one. Ijeoma from Nigeria. Anyhow, Ariana, Melissa. But you guys, this is an example of what Christine was doing on a Saturday. So when Christine, and just you have to know Christine, she about fell off her chair when I said, hey, would you be interested in designing some stamps for me? This was never, I guarantee you, in her mind when she was doing this. Like you guys, she was taking our Saturdays and doing what she needed to do to help get her minds off of the craziness that was happening in the pandemic. So that is Christine. And you guys will meet Christine if you pop in on What's New Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, whatever night that is, Wednesday the 29th, I guess, of 2023. So that is kind of where this all started. So from this, Christine suggesting a list. Well, going back, Dave Matthews, Christine suggesting a list, Christine showing me her list, now to this. And I'm very, very excited to show you guys 6 brand new stamp sets that are in collaboration with my friend Christine Pop Daisy Art. And that is Christine Pop Daisy Art. So 6 stamp sets. The very first one, I'm just going to show you mock-ups of the packaging. I have 2 that are in stock, like in my house now. The other 4 are arriving this week. So this one, though, you guys saw all those examples I showed you. I knew she had done so many things with Saturdays with Lael and things like that. I knew we wanted to have a stamp listing with Lael. So it's a 3x4 stamp set, all kinds of little stars and hearts to play with. But all of Christine's stamps, all of the stamps that we collaborated on together, are meant to be colored in. Now, they don't have to be, but they're meant to be colored in. So as we get going, I'll kind of show you that. That is the first one, listing with layout. And I will show you an example of how I used that one. Somewhere here. Oh, there we go. Oh, let's cover this one up. Let's cover this one up. Yes, her lists are beautiful. She's a beautiful person. Melissa and her cat's adventure said, I'm not crying. Are you crying? So there we go. That is that first stamp set, listing with layout. And I used that center, the large stamp, and colored that in, and then stamped all those little hearts around it. So that's just kind of a fun stamp for those of you that like to document being with me. That is a really fun one, I think, to add to the beginning of your Traveler's Notebook insert. So that will be the first of several stamps that you'll see from me this year, designed to kind of work at the very first page of your insert, listing with layout. All right, the next stamp set I'm going to show you, this is Christine Small Numbers. So this is a 3x4 stamp set. You have numbers 1 through 9. Before you say, I forgot the 9 and the 6 upside down. So you use the 9 one way, or you use that for the 9, or you turn it over for the 6. And then you have a couple little hearts. So that is Christine's Small Numbers. All hand drawn, you guys. All of this, every single piece of artwork that you see is all Christine's hand drawn artwork. So small numbers, and here's an example of small numbers. On this list, lots of you commented about this list. Lots of questions about what was coming out new. So we'll talk about that as we go. These are the small numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a list where I had used those small numbers. And they are, I have this on the website. They're about an inch, so about an inch tall, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then obviously up to 9. But this will give you a good feel. See how I've colored them in? I used colored pencils to color these guys in, and I'll show you some others where I used a marker. Actually, this one right here that I showed you first is using marker to color them in. So I'll show you the markers that I use for those in a minute. Michelle, I think I saw your question. 1 inch, right? 1 inch. Hi, Scrappy Miss. Good morning. I'm so sorry that you have to work today, but you can pop in anytime throughout the day or evening. We'll go to about 5:30 Pacific, maybe a little bit later, or you can catch the replay. All right. So next up, we have 2 4x6 stamp sets. This one is called I Heart This. So this is a list builder. I Heart This. This stamp set is for you to document, list all those things that you love, whatever they are, right? 2 different versions of the word love, one with a heart as the O and one with the O as the O. I heart this, things I love about, what I, things I about, love you, us today, lots of little and larger hearts, and then various colons, colon, and then a couple of dots. So fun for your lists. And I will show you an example of that. We'll actually be using a number of these stamps today on our list, or I will. So this one, what I love about dogs. So this part, what I love about, those are from that list builder, I Heart This stamp set, that 4x6 stamp set. Hi, Debbie at the Inspiration Station. Forgot that we were the big celebration today. I'm glad you joined us. Glad. All right, so that is what I love about dogs. Excuse me, that is list builder, I Heart This. Sarah said, so fun, these are designed to color in. Yes, I agree, Sarah. That's what is so much fun about Christine's style. And now it can be all of our style because now we have Christine's lovely artwork and stamps. Hi, Mom. Hi. Kathy said, so glad she grabbed a bundle. Yeah, you guys, all the new stamps, you can buy them individually if there's 1 or 2 that you see, but you can also buy them in a bundle. Okay, next up, Christine numbers medium. So a little bit larger. These are 1.5 inches, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 1.5 inches. So we have 1 inch for small, 1.5 inch for medium. Now, I will tell you, you're probably thinking, if there's a small and a medium, I wonder if there are more to come after that. There's a large set. That large set you will see later this year. It's already actually done and I have the samples, but you'll see those come out later this year, more towards, oh, I don't know, you might want to use maybe like a December project or something like that. Anyhow, Christine numbers, medium. So I will show you, basically they're the exact same numbers, just larger that we saw on small. This set you have 2 little hand-drawn stars. So that is medium. So that's the medium 6 that I used here. And that is small. So that will give you kind of an idea of scale. 1 inch, 1.5. Hi, Jessie. Before you go shopping to the outlet mall, have a good time. All right. This next one, and I should have written her name down because I just totally went out of my head. Someone emailed me, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or so, maybe even a little bit longer, that 9 months ago, and said, hey, you know what would be really cool? It'd be really cool if you had kind of some kind of stamp set where we could document like ourselves, like especially if I say, oh, this is me at 50 or 40 or 30 or 20 or 60 or 80. Or if I wanted to document other people in my life, hey, I could be doing this about Sam. Hey, you're 20. Hey, you're 21. Hey, you're 10. What's really fun about this stamp set, this could also work really well for cards. Okay, so you could kind of do birthdays, like, hey, you're blank years old. But this one, bucket list, likes, dislikes, favorites, some quotes, age is just a state of mind, getting better with age, age to perfection. This particular stamp set is one of the 2 stamp sets that is in my new This Is Me Traveler's Notebook Project Kit. So this one and Christine Numbers Small are both in that brand new, I don't know where it is. Oh, these 2. Those 2 are both in that brand new Traveler's Notebook Kit. So this is an example of what I have done with that one. So there is, This Is Me. I colored, stamped, and then colored those in with colored markers with markers. And then the 54 is the Christine medium numbers. So Christine medium numbers paired with the list builder This Is Me right there. So this is me at 54. I'm projecting 10 years into the future. So really I'm only 44, but I'm anticipating what it will be like when I'm 50. No, just kidding. Although you could do that. You could certainly do that. But I think what's really fun about this particular stamp set is it doesn't have to just be for currently. I think this would be a really fun stamp set to use and go back and document when you were 20, when you were 30, when you were 40, when you were 50. Not only you, but other people in your family or in your life. You could even be like your pets, would be really fun. All right. So last stamp set is called Willy Alphabet. Oh yeah, this one's a 6x8. This one is called Willy Alpha. These are, hi Sammy Lou. Is Sam here? I missed him. Hi Sammy. Hi mother. Hi mother. Are you going to come see me today, Sam? I don't know if you're skiing. If you're not skiing, you should come see us. All right, so this is the last one, you guys. This is Willy Alpha. All hand drawn. Those are all, that's Christine, right? That is Christine's alphabet. So like if you look here, look at Saturdays with Lael. I went through all of her lists. Well, Amy helped me. My person that I can't live without, my helper, whatever you want to call, my right hand. But look at, like, hello, all of this is Christine's style, all those alphas. So there it is in Willy. Now, you might ask where the name Willy came from. Christine numbers, medium and small, we get that. That's Christine. Christine is Pop Daisy Art. But Willy, so I came up with that name when Amy and I were on the phone. I was in Hawaii. Amy was where she lives. And we were on the phone kind of putting the final touches on the stamp set. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what should I call this? So I'm sitting in my hotel room. I'm looking out the window and literally I saw a whale. It was in Hawaii. I saw a whale. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's what it's going to be. This one is called Willy for like the Free Willy whale. Okay, so there we go. That one's Woolly Alpha 6x8. So you guys, all of these stamp sets shipping now, starting next week. So yeah, there you go. Those are the 6 new stamp sets that I am so excited to share with you. And I am so excited and honored to introduce you guys to Christine via stamps and kind of the whole story of how Christine and I met and how this came to be. Wanda, am I going to use any of those alphas today? I am. Yes, you'll see me use, you will see me use starting today. And then you guys, we're actually, as of now, together every Saturday in April listing. So you'll see me start to use a lot of these stamps. I know you're still here, Sammy. I was meaning maybe in person if you were going to, hop in and say hello. Nancy asked, are you using markers or watercolor pencil? Both, Nancy. Depending on the list, I've used both. So both of these lists, I used markers. And as we get going, I'll show you which markers I used. So both of those are markers. And this particular list is colored pencil. You can use both, either, both. Watercolor pencil, colored pencil. You guys know when I talk about colored pencils, even if they're watercolor, I don't use them for watercolor. I just use them for colored pencils. Alrighty, so I'm going to do my best today. Cindy, is there a new stuff tab in the shop? You betcha. Go to the website, lailbymail.com, and click on the header at the top. If the header says what's new, and that'll take you to what's new. Great question, Cindy. Also linked in the description box of the video. As I put these away, oh, I don't want to put these away. I'm going to use these. What am I thinking? Let me just get their little headers out of the way. So I think we should start off with a giveaway. What do you think? Should we? Should we start out with a giveaway? Even though Nick hasn't come in yet, Wanda said she just placed another order. Darn it. It's just so much fun ordering as I'm using them. Yes, you know, just let me know, but you need to tell me. Too many orders coming in for me to notice if you place multiple orders. So just shoot me an email and say, Lael, I placed multiple orders. Please ship them together. I will ship them together for you and then issue a refund on the back end for, you'll only pay 1 shipping fee. Okay. Oh yes, I was talking about a giveaway. But Nick didn't pop in to tell me a time yet. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to, we'll do one right now will be live and the other one will be post, meaning anyone can participate in this second one. And all you have to do to participate in that is when the video is over, when this first part 1 video is over, leave a comment on the video after it's over. I'm just saying hi, whatever you want to say, just say hi. And that's how you participate in those after the fact replay giveaways. Okay, I'm scrolling, my finger's stopping right there. Pam Soames, you are the winner of the listing with Lael brand new stamp set. So let me go to my spreadsheet, listing with Lael. Oh, I did that wrong. That's a live one. Okay. Pam Soames. Oh, I was trying to be so organized here. I'll do another one of these in the afternoon session. So Pam, shoot me an email with your address. If you guys will do me a huge favor, as you win, if you win, please, 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 in the subject line, tell me what you won. So Pam will send an email to lailbymail@gmail.com, and in the subject line, she will put listing with Lael stamp prize. And then that way, I kind of have a cross-reference. And there is a huge bin of prizes in here that is full. So we'll keep going, friends. Okay. Teresa, I love it. Teresa said you were helping me clean house this morning. And what's so fun about that, you guys, I've learned over the years that over the last 1,100 days, because today is 1,100 days since the very first one, that not all of you list with me. And in some cases, I'm just keeping you company. Whether you are cleaning your house, whether you are working, whether you are driving, whether you're working on some other crafty project, that is, I'm just kind of on in the background, which I love. And I get that, believe me. Nick travels a lot. So when I'm home working, sometimes at night, I'll turn Vicky on. Oh, that sounded bad. I will turn Vicky's YouTube on and, just watch what she's doing and listen live because I get it. Sometimes you just want company. Kathy, the Christine numbers small are 1 inch and the Christine numbers medium are 1.5 inch. And you will see that information I've listed the heights in the description of the product on the website. All right. Scrapbook Sister said, I'm on my computer trying to prep for my list. Jessica, my family knows you by voice. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. I also, you guys tell me that my voice is very soothing to you. And I think, oh my gosh, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Because I have now gone back to every single one of the videos that I've done over the last 3 years as part of the idea book and watched not all of them, not the entire, but had to watch every single one in some form or another. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice is annoying. And oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. And oh my gosh, I'm such a geek. And oh my gosh, why did I say that? And all the things. Yeah. Anyhow, Wanda said she doesn't list while watching, so maybe after the fact. Teresa said she would love to list, but just never do it. I think we need to change that. I just had a thought, and I am going to just write this down for future. I would love, those of you that have never listed with me, I would love for you to tell me if you've wanted to, but you never have, why? But not here in the chat. Maybe shoot me an email, go to the website and click contact us. We'll do a little research. Maybe I'll also in the Facebook group put a little poll. I'm just interested because I think there may be some commonalities between those of you that have wanted to but don't really know how to start, or just haven't. You want to but you haven't. So I'm very interested in knowing the why. So maybe I can help you. Maybe we can help each other. Shirley said, we love the new steps. Congrats to Christine. Thank you, Lil. Thank you, Shirley. Please give her a big hug for me. All right, so let me just very quickly, I have to write this down because if I don't write it down, it won't happen. Oh, my little stickies. Where are my stickies? Hang on, friends. Oh, here. I have all my little books, all my little workbooks. So this would be, let's do it this week. Hang on. I need a poll in FB group. Wanted to, not listing. All right, there we go. That will make sure I don't forget it. Okay. Tracy, yeah, those are sticky notes. Aren't those awesome? Those I have on the website. Those are like clear sticky notes, translucent sticky notes. See that? So you can still see underneath. Chew on this travel. Oh my gosh, I love that. Chew on this travel. Yeah, I have 2 books that are my right hand. One is this one. This one is the plan on it. My plan on it. I made my own planner because I could never find what I wanted. These are on my website. But basically, it's just broken out by week. You have the week, and then you have all the things that you're doing the week. This was this week. And then you also, most of you know this one. This is my List With Me Live notebook. This is the brain when it comes to all of our listing sessions. This one goes back to October 2021. And this one's available also, both in the print version and the downloaded version. And because those are Lil by Mail products, those are also 15% off today. Okay, let's keep going. Tracy wondered if the translucent stickies would go through the printer like vellum. Who knows, right? Who knows? Jennifer, okay, 2 of them. This one is called, this one for you guys is called Listing with Lael. This is the one that has for each of the Saturday sessions, your list, the products you want to use, things on your list, and little sketches. It also has list ideas. It has layout ideas that you can sketch out for doubles, for single pages. In between each section, there's a nice white piece of cardstock. Anyhow, if you go to the website and look at the Listing with Lael workbook, there's a video where I've kind of flipped through and showed you that whole thing. That is one. The other one is this guy, and this is called Plan on It. And this has, at the very beginning, it has the full year. I haven't used the calendar yet, but I mostly use, this is all that I use. And it's undated, so you can start whenever you want. And that's just my little way of how I do that. And it has a little pen loop with it. There is a third something coming out, you guys. It is going to the printer end of next week, crossing fingers. It is a 120-page idea book. A 120-page listing with Lael idea book. And oh my goodness, it has been a labor of love. That will be ready on the first Saturday in May for International Scrapbook Day. So we're doing another one-dayer here on Monday, May, whatever that is, first Saturday in May. And I will have those available that day. So excited. My own idea book. It's 120 pages. It's pretty awesome. It has all the lists from 2020, all the lists from 2021, all the lists from 2022, and some pretty cool features with it. So anyhow, all right, let's get moving. Let's get moving because now we are going to do 2 lists, okay? We're going to do 2 lists kind of at the same time. They are, oh, I'm so organized. Everything for today is organized in its own little compartment. This is a huge change from last year. All right. Teresa, I don't think about or analyze things much. So if we say favorite songs and I say, I don't know, maybe the idea book would be great. I think it might be. Wanda, I think, I want to say I have it priced at, I don't know. I need to go back and double check. So, it is being printed at a printer and it has a binding like, hold on, I'll show you. It's not a binding, it's a flat lay. Let me show you. It will be like this. So it'll be like this, okay? Very nice cover. This is not it. And really nice thick pages inside. This is just a magazine that I have, but it will be bound like that, not spiral bound, flat lay, so you can lay it open and yeah, that's what it will be. Pam, I can hardly wait for you to get it too. I can hardly wait to get it. Leanne Vandertol, there will be an ebook version. Absolutely. I just have to figure out how I want to do that to start. Definitely for international because it's just, I know for many people it's just not cost effective with the exchange rates and shipping costs and duties and taxes and all that. Denise, it does give reference to the video. It does. Okay, I'm just going to show you because, you know, today's a day for doing whatever we want. Well, let's be honest. Today, all the days are for doing whatever we want. But I will just show you a mock-up of a page so you can kind of get an idea. Okay? Hang on. I think they are, let's see here. All right. So this is a mock-up. None of this will make sense, but this is a mock-up of a page. So you will have a photo of the list, a nice sized photo of the list so you can totally see it. You will have the title of the list. You will have the date of the list. You will have a link to the video that list was made. And then you will have the hour and minute mark of when that video started or when that list started. Because this is a printed version, you can't click on the hyperlink, but what you will get when you order the book is you will get a link to download a PDF that has a hyperlink for every single list. So let's say you are, and don't remember mock-up, so this is not this Christmas, I know that. Let's say you look at this list and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that. I want to see how she did that. You would go, oh, look it. This was 12/28/2022. You would pull up your little PDF and you'd click on the hyperlink and it would take you right to that video that was recorded on 12/28. You'd fast forward to the 29-minute mark and there you go. So, oh my goodness, an incredible amount of work. That I have a designer that is working to take all the information and put it into the book. And then Amy has been a huge help. I mailed all of my Traveler's Notebooks to her. She photographed everything, edited everything. And then when I was in Houston, Amy and I met in Houston. And we spent many hours laying everything out. So very excited for that. Very, very excited for that. I hope you guys are too. Of course I will autograph it for you, Denise. Okay, you guys, our first two lists. And thank you. I am, yes, very excited about that. And it's it's self-published, right? It's just me. There's no publisher behind it. So it's me doing a self-published. Okay, let's get going. Two lists I'm kind of going to do at the same time. Kind of not. And the lists are what I love about cats and what I love about dogs. Sarah, right off the bat, is wondering. So, Sarah said, who is that cute sheepdog? This sheepdog's name is Henry. This sheepdog, Amy and I ran into when we were in Houston. The reason why I am using this photo today, when I was a little girl, we always had dogs, and they were sheepdogs. And so, I'm so emotional today. I don't know why. You don't see Old English sheepdogs very often. Not many people have them as pets. They are huge and they are extremely hairy. They are the most wonderful dogs. So all as a little kid growing up, all the way through high school, we had Old English sheepdogs. We have no dogs in my house. We've never had dogs as an adult. I've had cats, but no dogs, which is such a weird thing. But every time I see an Old English sheepdog, I just die, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just love them, because they just hold such a special place in my heart. So Amy and I are walking along. There's a gentleman, I don't know, maybe early 60s, and he's walking this dog. And I go, oh my gosh, I said, can I pet your dog? And he said, yes, this is Henry. And I'm like, and actually, Henry has an account on Instagram. I think it's like Stephen Henry or something. But I said, can I pet your dog? And I said, can I take a picture of your dog and send to my mom? My mom will die. And he goes, get in the picture. So he handed me Henry's leash, and Amy took a picture of me and Henry. So I thought this was a perfect photo to use for my list. Carmen said Shaggy DA. Carmen, one of our Old English sheepdogs, as I was growing up, was the grandson or great-grandson of the Shaggy DA. It was from that same, pool genealogy, whatever it is. Yes, Shaggy DA. That was one of our dogs. We had Bandit, we had Okie, and we had Timmy. Timmy was the first one. Timmy was, oh my gosh, anyhow. So, two lists, what I love about dogs and what I love about cats. Now, funny thing, my traveler's notebook that I've been working in is at Amy's. She was photographing it still. So I don't have my last one I was working in. So these two lists I'm going to be creating off the page, which a lot of times what I do, because I get to the end of an insert and it gets a little bit harder to work in because it's so full. So I will be creating these two lists. And then she's already emailed or mailed that one back to me once we discovered that I didn't have that one for today. So I'll throw them in that list and I'll show it to you guys next Saturday. I need Nick for, I am using 12 by 12 paper, Denise. I am, because in this particular collection, these are two collections from Simple Stories, Pet Shop Dog and Pet Shop Cat. I did not, they did a 12 by 12, or excuse me, a 6 by 8 paper pad, but it was a mixture of all the pets. So I'm not using that. I'm using 12 by 12 papers. So these both collection kits I have on my website. I have the Pet Shop Dog and Pet Shop Cat on my website. So linked in the description box of the video of what I'm using. Oh, there he is. Are you here to tell me a time?
Right now.
Right now. Okay, right now was Dora. So Dora, one of the live prizes is either the Pet Shop Dog or Pet Shop Cat collection kit. So Dora, tell me. Tell me. Did you hear that, Dora? Hopefully you're a dog person or cat person. Which one would you like? And I'm going to write it down right now. Yep. Dora, dog or cat? Because I'm going to write it down. Dog. Okay, Dora gets the dog live. Dora, shoot me an email. Put dog collection kit in the subject line. And then you will get the dog collection kit. Okay, so let's go. That's funny. Nick walked in. I think he was just, I don't know, popping in. And I'm like, who won? And he's like, I think he's been forgetting. He's been shirking off on his duties. All right, so this will be a 2-page list because because I want that picture on the right hand side. That's cat. That's not going to work for this list. Dog. All right. So I'm going to end up cutting down 12 by 12 paper for my list. It will be a 2-pager. So let's see what I might want to use. Oh, look at, and hello, look at that. I think that is Simple Stories version of an Old English Sheepdog. Now, Old English Sheepdogs typically don't have the tail. That's part of their breeding, not breeding. They remove the tail for some reason. I don't know why. But I think that is the Simple Stories version of the Old English Sheepdog. So we may see him get used. All right, I need just a little bit of pattern paper. I don't need a lot. I just need something for a background. That would be cute. The red paw or the bones. The woof, woof, woof. The little dog icons. I think what I'm going to end up doing, this is the paper dog. There's a cat version of this too. I think this is the paper that I'm going to use on both of the lists. So there we go. There's the paper, and I need the stickers, and I will move this off to the side for a second. And I will do the same thing for cat. Those of you that are real big dog or cat fans, I also have 2 mini book project kits on my website. One is called Love My Dog and one is called Love My Cat. See, look it, there's the kitty version. Okay, like I said, very emotional today. So this morning when I was looking for photos of our cats that are both passed on, I was crying. I said, Nick, I look at these and it makes me want a cat. And he's like, no more pets. Nick's mantra, no more pets. And then he said, when I die, you can get a cat. And I'm like, Nick, stop that. I'm already crying. Stop that. And he's like, well, statistically, and I'm like, shush up. Statistically, I'm going to die before you are. And I'm like, you are a dingaling. Do you see I'm already crying because I'm sad about I'm just missing our cats that are no longer with us. And you're telling me to get one when you die. And chances are you're going to die before me. I'm like, Nick, stop that. I don't want to hear that. Yeah. All right. So here we go. I need to trim my paper down. I'm very excited. I just ordered a new trimmer. The new Tim Holtz, whatever. Tim Holtz's new trimmer. I am constantly trimmers. I have my big green trimmer, my big Caterpillar. I still love that one, but when I'm doing things like this, it's too much. It's too big. So I would like this list to be 4 3/4 inches wide by 8 inches tall. And that is always, always, always what I use for a base when I'm doing pattern paper. When I add that to my insert, it will, let's pretend like I'm adding that right here. Whenever I'm ready to add it, that will fit right there and it will give me a little bit of a background all the way around. So I trim to 4 3/4 wide by 8 inches tall because the inserts that I use are standard wide. They are 5 inches wide by 8.25. So 5 by 8.25, 4 3/4 by 8 gives me that nice little border. This is going to be this will be the left side of my list. So I am going to round the corners. Just the outside corners, just the outside, like so. Okay, now for the right page, I printed this photo last night. Let me just double check and see what it ended up printing at. I told it I wanted it to be 5 by 8.25. 5 by 8.25, perfect. So this photo I printed so that it would be the full size for the opposite side of my spread, full size photo. If you print at home and you can do that, then you can do that. If not, Persnickety Prints. So persnicketyprints.com, Persnickety, Persnickety? I don't know, I just spelled that out loud. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well. Persnicketyprints.com does Traveler's Notebook size prints. So they are a Utah-based company. You know me and my love for supporting small businesses, small women-owned businesses. That business is owned by a woman named Shari Pack, and they do amazing, amazing, amazing prints. All different kinds, 12 by 12, 3 by 4, 4 by 6, you name it. Even very, very large ones for walls. But they do 2 different sizes of traveler's notebook prints. The standard wide, which is 5 by 8.25, they did those for us. And then the regular traveler's notebook, which is 4.33 by 8.25. And I know some of you guys have ordered from them. So this will be the entire right side of my page. It will be like that. I'm just going to round these outside corners. A digital trimmer. Digital. What do you mean digital? What do you mean digital? It's not a guillotine. His new one is not a guillotine trimmer. It is like a roller blade thing. Yeah. All right. So now I need some white cardstock. Actually, I'm not putting these things on the floor. I have my plan. I'm going to put these things back in the box. This will make it so. Dog and cat. Rotary. Thank you, Rainey. Yes, rotary. That's the one I'm talking about, Kristen. These won't go in the box. I know that because they're too big. Never mind. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Yes, the rotary trimmer. Yeah. Okay. Let's put those all back down there again. All right. So now I need some cardstock. And you know what I should do? I should be doing this at the same time because we can kind of get dog and cat ready together. If you do not have dogs or you do not have cats or you do not love dogs or you do not love cats, switch it up. Okay. This is one of those easy lists that works for anything. What you love about pasta, what you love about the Bee Gees, what you love about summer, spring, winter, fall, what you love about your best friend, what you love about your job. So lots of different topics that you can use for this list if you do not want to list about dogs or cats. Maybe you have gerbils, maybe you have birds. Substitute another pet. Whatever it is, make it work. Make it work if dog and or cat does not work for you. All right, there we go. Now we can kind of look at those, kind of doing those side by side. Barry Manilow. Joy, yes, Joy. I know Joy loves Barry Manilow. Joy loves Barry Manilow. Joy met Barry Manilow, right? A couple years ago. Famous dogs. There you go. Maybe famous dogs. Yes, like the Shaggy DA could be one, or Benji, right? Benji could be one. Let's see. Somebody just asked about the storage box. Cindy, I think those are listed in the description box of the video. That is an 8.5 by 11. It's an 8.5 by 11, and that is how, I'll just show you guys, look at. This is how I'm all organized for today. Look at that. I have all of those that are all ready to go. Each of our little sections that we're doing is all organized in each one of those. It's all about the organization sometimes. All right, cat and dog, here we go here. This will be for over here. Oopsie. Let's get those together. There's our old kitties. Poe, lots of you knew Poe. And then Q. Those were the ones that were making me cry this morning. Miss those kitties, huh? You love your pets, but sometimes it's so hard. Not sometimes. It's hard when they are no longer. Okay, but let's move on from that. Nobody wants to be sad today. We don't want to be sad today. All right. I keep just moving things around. Don't mind me. Again in November, Joy. Okay, Joy to Mary Manilow is like Karen Haynes to a hairband. I don't remember which one, Karen. It starts with an S. Does it start with an S? Maybe? I don't know. You have to tell me. All right. I think. There we go. So this is 4 inches wide. This will be the base of my list. 4 inches by 7 1/4, I think. 7 1/4. Poison. Is it poison? Hi, Jessica. 7 1/4. I think that's where we want that to be. So Gabby, that's not my dog. I wish it was my dog. I would try to convince Nick to get me that dog. That is a dog. We had Old English sheepdogs all while I was growing up. We had 3. Timmy and Bandit and Okie. over the years, not all at the same time. 7 1/4. So by, what did I say? Sorry. 4 by 7 1/4. So that is a dog. No, Gabby, you wouldn't know that. Oh, Lassie, Scooby-Doo, the dog, Astro. Yes, you guys are coming up with some great, that is a great suggestion. Maybe you don't have dogs, but you could make a list about famous dogs that you like. 7? Hang on. 7 1/4. There we go. All right. I know we were, oh yes, not, they don't shed. There's Mom. Old English sheepdogs. They don't shed, but they are very furry and you have to brush them. And when you brush them, they shed. And let me tell you what, having an Old English sheepdog in a snowy climate, they come in the house with these giant clumps of snow just hanging off of them. All right, so here we go. There's my little list for, I kind of cover up the little doggies, but that's okay. We can still see their doggies. Before I get too far, I know I want to use this stamp set, so I need to make sure I have enough room for love. What I love about, so I can actually maybe make this a little bit narrower. So if we go here, let's go to, it's going to be really narrow. 3 3/4, so then I need to take another quarter off of here. Looks like it's about there. Now let's see, so I can see a little bit more of those doggies. Oh yes, there we go. So take a quarter here. Oh yeah, where are we? Right here, I think. Oopsie. I think that's right. And then a quarter here. Right there. Okay, there we go. Now we'll be able to see a little bit more. Dawn said she's supposed to be cleaning her desk to have room to craft on the second half of the day. She's just watching and not doing anything like cleaning, but that's okay. I get it, right? I get it. Dingle balls. I think that's what we called them, right? Did my mom pop in and say that, dingle balls? I think maybe she did. That's fun. Yeah, they were just big. Oh, see ya, Mom. Big giant clumps of snow that would hang off of all the fur on the Old English sheepdog, on those little guys. That is a, Gabby, that is a dog that I met in Houston. And anytime I see an Old English sheepdog like that, I always have to stop and ask the people if I can pet it, because you never see Old English sheepdogs. And it reminds me so much of being a kid. And all the Old English sheepdogs that we used to have. Okay, hang on. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so let's get ready to stamp. Stamp. I have some fun new things to talk about. Well, one new thing to talk about. Oh, that reminded me. Nick. Honey, Nick. Uh-oh. I'm going to need something in a minute. I forgot to wet this. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Nick. Hold on. All right. Marilee, if you're still here, Marilee posted in the Facebook group this week asking some questions about an issue that she was having while she was stamping. So that prompted a whole bunch of things. So we're going to talk about some of those things as we go, but I need to dry my hands. I think Nick must be in the shower because I'm like, Nick, where are you? Nick. Okay, I'm going to get ready to stamp. Nick has left the building. I know. Nick has left the building. All right. Let me get my stamping blocks out here. Let me also get this little guy. So, stamping block. I think we'll use that guy. We need that. We need that. We don't need a pencil board. All right. I can't tell if, I think these I used. I don't remember. All right. So, brand new stamp set. Photopolymer stamps. You need to condition or prime your stamps before you use them. That is the #1 mistake that I see people make when they start stamping. If you have a new stamp set and you just start stamping without conditioning or priming your stamp first, that's why your stamped impression does not look like everyone else's. It took me years to realize that, figure out that's what I was doing wrong. So priming your stamps, you can do it one of two ways. Well, actually you can do it a whole bunch of ways, but I'm taking a block white eraser, rubber eraser, and all I'm doing is erasing over the top of that stamp, okay? Some people say you can do this. Some people say you can just do that on your hand. They need to be primed first. There is a microscopic layer or film on your photopolymer stamp sets. And if you don't condition them or prime them first, it is going to interfere with your stamped impression and you are going to hate stamping because it's not going to look like you think that it should look. So first step, priming or conditioning. Here's a little tip. When I have a new stamp set, generally to save time, I might as well prime all of them at once, okay? If I prime all of them at once, then I'm done. So you can prime with eraser, you can prime with, people say like just putting it on your hand and getting, I guess, some of the oils in your skin. Or you can just stamp with it a bunch of times. But if you're stamping with it a bunch of times, you only want to test. You don't want to be stamping on your project that way. All right, so prime first. So I just did that. Now, I have all those weird little like eraser thingies on it, right? So I need to get those little eraser tailings off. This is where cleaning your stamps comes into play. Lots and lots of questions about cleaning your stamps. You can use baby wipes if they are alcohol free, but what you find is with some baby wipes, they have like little hairs in them, like little fibers. And then when you do that on your stamps, the fibers get all over your stamps and then you try to stamp and there's little fiber impressions and you don't want that. So you could use a microfiber cloth to clean them, a wet one. You could use a stamp chamois, okay? This is a well-used and loved stamp chamois. It's a Lawn Fawn stamp chamois. I am hopefully bringing stamp chamois in. I'm just waiting to hear back from Lawn Fawn. But I have linked them in the meantime in the description box of the video. So I am going over that surface with a stamp chamois. You can use plain water in a microfiber cloth. You can use a stamp cleaner. You can use baby wipes, alcohol-free. And then you don't want the ones that have the little, well, you usually don't know that they have the little fibers in them until you start using them. But there you go. So I kind of get that nice and clean, but it's still wet. Next thing, you need to dry it. If you do not dry your stamps, hi dear. If you do not dry your stamps and you now go to put ink on them, depending on the ink and the reaction with the ink, like a distress oxide ink, that water is going to interact with the ink and give you probably, unless that's what you meant to do, is going to give you a reaction that you don't really want. So I am taking a microfiber cloth. Microfiber does not have any little fibers that are going to come off on my stamps, right? So these are brand new. I brought these into the website. It's just a little 12 by 12 white microfiber cloth. You can throw them in the wash machine, but you want that lint free, okay? You can also use this once you stamp and then clean off the ink with your chamois or whatever it is you're using. Then you can come back and dry with that at the same time. Or not at the same time, but you know what I mean. All right, so I am going to use this one. Love, what I love about. Now, as far as color goes, I think I am going to use, oh no, I'm going to use black. I'm thinking ahead of what I might want to color in with, but I'm going to stamp black. My title is going to be black. Before I ever stamp on that, I want to come in and test. I want to make sure that it's nice and primed. I want to make sure there's no little lint or hairs in there. I want to make sure that it's the color I want to stamp with. I want to make sure that it's straight. If I'm spelling a word, I want to make sure that it's spelled correctly. All the things. That's why we test, okay, to make sure. Scrapbook Sister, thank you. She said it's over 200 of us. Please hit the like button and thank you. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Teresa Osterloo said, I'm going to read this. Teresa said, I never knew this eraser trick. Embarrassed to say I've been stamping since 1994. Teresa, don't be embarrassed. I, for years, never liked stamping because I'd always see people stamping and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. And then I would stamp and it looked horrible. The ink looked like it was pooling and it wasn't solid and I hated it until I really started using stamps and figured out, oh, there's some things that we need to be doing that will make our life a lot easier, like conditioning or priming first. Okay, there we go. That looks good. That's what I want to do. So, I also need to get my other stamp ready. I need another stamping block because I need the what I love part to go above it. Now, I could put this one, I could put that right in here, but I'm not going to do that because I want to be able to get as close and tight as to this one as I can. So I'm going to stamp that guy separately. So we'll start out with this one. We'll start out with what I love. We'll start out with love. We'll start out with love. So I can already tell us, I will probably do dog today and not cat because you know me, I always try to plan so many things in what we're doing and then I always talk too much. We don't get as far as I ever would like us to get. All right, so love will go here. Rosemary said, love this tip. Just started doing it and can really see a difference. Oh, I'm so glad. I am so glad. Paper is another thing, you guys. The paper that you're stamping on, the cardstock, that makes a big difference. You want non-textured. You want like a flat white. I linked to the description box in the video of what I use. It's from Amazon. It's a Nina bright white cardstock. And I use the same thing when I am swatching my inks. I might as well do this one for cat right now too, right? Might as well do those both together, right? That makes sense. Ooh, massages at your crop. That sounds great. That sounds great. Gail, anything you missed, you can just watch the replay later if you want. All right, so now I need to clean that. Look, there's my little chamois. There's my little chamois. And all nice and clean, okay? There we go. So your chamois, like a car chamois, it will dry out. And then when it dries out, you just need to rehydrate it, AKA put it underwater. All righty, let's move this guy off to the side. And let's grab our what eye and see where we want our what eye to go. With that, the nice thing about doing my test stamp first is that now I can come back here and decide, ooh, where do I want it? Do I like it there? Do I like it right there? I probably like it right there because that's really kind of where it needs to go here, just because there is that little dip. So I think with that one, that is where it's going to go. If I was using the other love that is part of this stamp set, if I was using this one, it's flat across the top, and then I could put the what eye wherever I want. So what eye? Right there. Cute, cute. That is Christine's handwriting. Handwriting, and then her drawing. Her hand drawing and her handwriting. Pop Daisy Art. Christina brought up a very good point. Practice is important. Each stamp has a different pressure you should use. Absolutely, because guess what? This one, for example, is thinner and narrower than this one. So I need to be comfortable with what I'm doing, and I need to be aware that if I press down a lot more, it's going to make those thin letters really spread out and kind of go flat and squeeze. If I don't stamp hard enough, then I'm not going to get a good even impression. A stamp like that has a little bit more surface area to it. I still need to apply pressure, but I may not need to apply as much pressure. Also, where you place your stamp on the stamping block can really have a lot to do with how things look. Okay, there we go. One quick thing I want to show you when I'm talking about how much pressure. Just ink that up one more time. And I will, actually 2 more times because I will do 2 different things here. Actually, we'll just do 1. So look what happens when I give it too much pressure. Hi, Anna Haynes. So this is regular normal pressure. That one, look at how much pressure I gave there. Look what happened to the letters. The letters like totally flatten out. There's nothing wrong with that, but that is a really good example of what different pressure points will do for you. Sometimes you might have a stamp that is so intricate that if you press down really hard, you're going to lose all the detail of that stamp. So practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. I just have an old composition book. You guys see me pull this out every time. This is what I use anytime for all of my like stamping testing things. All right. Now we'll just clean that little guy off again. And I'm not going to worry about drying these right now because I'm not reusing them. If I was reusing them right now, I would really want to dry them before I reapplied ink, because if I didn't dry them before I reapplied ink, potential the ink I'm using could interfere with, the water could interfere with the ink I'm using, especially with distress oxides. Okay, what I love, and now we need to get our about. So I have a couple of different abouts that I could use. I could use that about, or I could use that about. So let's look. If I put that there, let me see here. Doggies. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to use the handwritten about instead of that about. So the handwritten about is this guy, because I'm going to do about like that. And then I am going to do, I'm going to use Alpha. I'm going to use Willie Alpha, this little guy, for my dogs and my cats. So let's grab another stamping block. Oh, I have a nail that feels like it is just about ready to come right off. Here's that one. I mean, not come right off because they're my nails, but it feels like, hang on, I just need to see. It feels like it's going to rip. I usually try to keep I'll have to see if Nick can bring me one of those. Honey, if you're listening, will you bring me a nail file? Like right there, it wants to split. Tina said she really likes the new stamp set. I kind of try to doodle my letters like this too. Yes, very fun, because then you can kind of have that doodle look without, a lot of us are afraid to doodle, right? I mean, look I just had our own stamp sets made. Now I don't have to doodle. All right, so dogs, let's do this. There's a couple of different ways when you're using single alphabet stamps. There's a couple of different ways that you can do that. You can use, you can line them all up on your stamping block together, or you can stamp each of them individually. You will get a different look based on which way you go. I like to stamp them individually. The reason I like to stamp them individually is because, let me just bring this out because I'll need this, is because I like them to be closer together. If you stamp them all on one stamping block, nothing wrong with that, but your letters can only get so close together because of the little extra polymer, rubber, whatever they call it. Okay, so let's do about. Now, if you are doing multiple lists, like I'm doing dog and cat, do you see how I'm kind of doing them at the same time? I'm saving myself a lot of time by doing that together, right? There's about. And here's about. Now, here's the other thing. If you think, well, over the next little while, I might want to do lots of lists of things I love about. Guess what? Set yourself up a little assembly line here. I'm doing an assembly line of 2. You could do an assembly line of 10. While you're stamping, you might as well. It's so much easier. Look at how quickly I've been adding as I go. So you can kind of make life a little bit easier if you want to, that way. Okay, let's see where we're going here. I did not test my about, did I? I didn't test anything. That about. Let's just look over here. Wherever we were. Oh, here we go. But we're kind of in here, I think. All right, we're just going to go for it. We are going to go for it. nasty. Clean it off. There's not really a fast way to do this, friends. I mean, we just kind of have to take our time and go. For each of the letters on the Willie stamp set, you have different kind of looks. So for example, for the O, you have a solid O that you can circle in. You have a large uppercase O, lowercase solid, uppercase outline, and lowercase outline. So you can kind of pretend and play with lots of different ones. Not pretend. I don't know what I meant when I said pretend. Kathy, this would be perfect to produce multiples in the Misty. Yeah, actually, we're going to talk about that next. When before we break, we will. I'll be talking about my out the window mini book, my out the window traveler's notebook that I do, and I'll show you guys. I'm going to actually do a couple entries, one entry at least, but I'll show you some things. I had started a blog post about that. And then a couple of you requested that I do a video. So I stopped on the blog post. We'll work on the video this week, but show you how doing a project like that continuously, because you do it for a while. Basically, I take a picture out the airplane window and now out the car window and out the RV window, documenting something like that and how you can make that process go much quicker by thinking about it ahead of time. What I love about dogs. Okay, there we go. Now over here, we'll just do our cats. You need to, if you're working with, whether you're working with chamois or whether you're working with just a wet paper towel or a baby wipe, you really want to, because it's wet, you really need to be careful of where you're putting it on your work surface. So you don't want, it to get other things wet. Okay, and here's my little cats. I had already primed this stamp set before because I've used it before, the alphas. So that's why you're not seeing me prime that whole thing. Kristen said, getting into stamping thanks to Lael. I love that, Kristen. I love that. I have not always been a stamper. I mean, it's really been, honestly, it's really been within the last 3 years. And it's probably because early days of the pandemic, I had lots of time to do things. And in my my COVID traveler's notebooks that I was working on, I was stamping using Carrie Bradford stamps. And so I just trial and error learned a lot through that process. A lot. Shay said, another problem I found as a new stamper is don't combine stamps from different makers when stamping. They're different heights. Now, that's true unless it's something that you want, a look that you want to go for, right? Because sometimes it's fun to mix cases. And when I say mix cases, I mean some upper, some lower, right? Like this. And this is just in the same stamp, but look, there's, uppercase L, lowercase e. Here's a mix, uppercase T, lowercase I. So with that Willie alphabet, you could mix if you wanted to your uppercase and your lower cases. Okay. That I don't really love how that looks because the T, the descender, is below the line. I would have used an uppercase, but I didn't have enough room for the uppercase. So I'll show you how I can fix that in a minute. All right, now I need my S again, and then we will be ready to keep going. Now, are there any people that are both dog and cat people out there? I know a lot of times it's an either or, and I learned a couple years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I did a dog and a cat mini book project kit and learned then that definitely more dog people out there than there are cat people. Definitely. Janine says she loves both cats and dogs. Shannon, or thickness, right? Sometimes thickness in different stamp sets. It's definitely like a look that you want to go for. I mean, it's a planned look. Like if you're doing that, it's kind of a planned look. Scrapbook Sister is neither dogs or cats. Nancy's both, I think. Tracy loves dogs, cats, and most other small mammals. Lots of cats and dog lovers, both. Oh, Joanne's allergic to cats, but she still loves them both. Alrighty, so here we go. That's the start of those two lists. I don't know what that is from. Okay, let's just move this off to the side. I don't know, right there in a pile. Now, this guy going here. So I feel okay about now adhering that. Dog lover, Robin. Karen has 3 dogs and her adult daughter has 2 cats. Jessica, dogs. Becky must love dogs. Mimi's a cat person. There we go. 1 or 2 cat people out there, right? Okay, there we are. Now we come in with I know what I'm going to do. So on one of my lists, I have used this pen. Let's make sure I can find it. Where did it go? Darn it. I would really like to use it right now. All right. I am going to have Nick go fetch it in a minute. Darn it, wouldn't you know it? I'm so organized. Yet, so far, the one thing I want to use is not within reach. It's floating around somewhere. Now I need to try to describe to Nick what this pen looks like. Hey, hang on, guys. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right. This I shared a couple, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. The brand is Ninipi. I don't know how to pronounce it, but these I have on my website in 2 different colors. It is a combination pen and marker. But what's really cool about it is this is what you can do. If you use it this way, it's a marker. If you turn around and use it this other way, it is a highlighter or a pen. Pen marker, sorry. But if you use it together, look what you get, a nice double outline. So I think I'm going to double outline this. And this is an example of where I used that pen. That is a double outline using that pen. Isn't that kind of cool, huh? So let's see, I may run into some troubles. Actually, I can do it on cats. I might not be able to do it on dogs because I'm a little bit too tall there. Double outline. You know me and my outlining. Oopsie. So give me a double outline. I like it. I'll skip it on dog. Because I don't have enough room. But look at it, isn't that fun? We'll just do a single outline on dog. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is color in some of those letters. Well, actually all those letters. This is where the type of ink that you're using is really important. I used this one. I used the VersaFine Clair. This is by Sukaniko. It is a pigment-based ink. This one is called Nocturne. It is black. If you are going to stamp and then use another marker to color in, you need to be careful with the ink that you use for the initial stamp. This one I know is fine. It's a pigment-based ink. If I'm using a dye-based ink, I don't know, because I'm not the expert, I may run the risk of that black blending with whatever I'm putting in there. So that's something that you just would have to test out with what you have. You just have to test out with what you have. So I have 2 different things that I'm going to pull out. One is that. 2 is, I should say, are these. So new things. This one is not the exact set. It's the exact set, but it has 48 instead of 50. Don't ask me why. But this is a colored pencil set. 48 colors. All of those different colors. Those are great for coloring in these stamps. Okay. 2 layers, lots and lots and lots of different colors. Now, these are brand new. They're on the website. I have not swatched these yet, so I don't quite know what color is what. Because the swatching is important. Because let's say if I'm trying to match that cute little pink, then I want to have this done, right? I want to have all my pencils swatched so I can try to find that little pink. Haven't done that yet with these. So I can use colored pencils. I can also use marker. I have 3 really fun sets of markers on the website. Where is my helper? He is going to get a bad grade. Let me look here. I have one of these now to give away, but it is, anyone can participate, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay, okay? It is the dark version of the Zebra Click Art retractable markers. So there's 3 colors. You have dark, you have standard, dark, and then you have lights. All right, so the dark set I'm going to give away, not live in the chat, friends. This is one that anyone can participate in, okay? Anyone can participate in. You just leave a comment on the video once it's over. So I have these. These are super cool. These are what I used for both of these lists. Coloring in the letters and numbers on both of these lists. I used a combination of those retractable markers. This is what's so cool about these markers. They are 0.6 millimeters. But look it, this is what retractable. Dink. Can you hear that? It's like your little click pen. So, oh no! Oh boy, look what I did. Does anybody see what I did there? I have a nice little red mark right there. We're going to figure out how to figure out how to deal with that later. So look at what I can do. Come right in and color in that little letter. Now I will just, you get the gist, right? Color in that little letter. But the click art is so nice. It just makes it, you don't have to worry about the cap. You don't take the cap off. Click, click. Oh, now I'm very sad that I got a red mark on me, but I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. I think what I'm going to do, though I'm going to use colored pencil on this one because I would like to want to see if I can try to find that little pink. Let's see if I can find the pink. Again, this is why you want to swatch your pens and pencils and your markers. Well, that looks pretty darn close, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to do this. Colored pencil in the little heart. Now, I don't have to use these stamps. I don't have to color them in at all. I could just leave them black, or I could have stamped in a color. I don't have to color them in, but boy, it sure is fun to color them in, isn't it? Maybe we'll do something different on Cat. All right, so then now I need to come up with mint. The elusive mint. The mint is so hard to find anything that looks like a mint. Because look at, that's like super bright green. I don't know if I have any that are going to look like a mint. This is what I'm going to do. I won't color in any more of that right now. How about that? Just so we can kind of keep on moving along. What I am going to do though, I am going to, I have kind of this little G to deal with because it's low, and I kind of have that little T to deal with because it's low. You'll see me do this sometimes on my lists where I will draw a line kind of to separate my title from the rest of my list. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I have also apparently have some black on my fingers from stamping. This is what happens when I try to go too fast. Oh, Susan, we just got a lot of snow. We just got a lot of snow last night or yesterday. So no golfing today for Nick, for sure. He went last Sunday though. So he's good. He's a nice helper for me. All right, there we go. That one, spacing on that one is a little bit off, but that's all right. Okay, so now what I love about dogs, I am going to make a bulleted list. Ooh, before I get too far though, let's move this. This is the other side. So before I get too far, I would like to look at, I think some stickers from that collection kit. So let's grab this little guy. But what I'm going to do, because don't get mad at me, it's the breed. It's not Lael, it's the breed. They do this. I wish my mom was still here because maybe she could tell me why they do this. They trim their little tails. There are other dogs that they do that too, but they trim their little tails. So I am actually going to come in and trim this around. I don't know if this is supposed to be an Old English sheepdog, but it's close. There. We'll put this little guy right here. That's cute. And I am going to look for, let's see, what if I take like these two little bone stickers? Oh, or a paw. We could do a paw or a bone sticker. So if I do little bones right here, let's see, maybe little bones might be good there. Or, I don't really know. No, I don't like those there. What if we do little bones right there to start us? And then maybe we take this little guy, this little yellow paw. I think I'm going to put that little yellow paw right there. That little yellow paw is now serving to cover up, serving to cover up the red. Terry, no, we do not have a new pet. There's a long story behind that. Ask me later, I'll share the story. Or I already shared it. So, but no, you did not miss. That is not a new pet in the Concar household. As much as I would love to have that, no. We had those when I was growing up. What about, now I feel like I need to pull in a little bit more yellow, maybe a little bit more yellow. What if we put that right there? Man's best friend, dog. That works. So now that I brought in yellow, maybe I was struggling with another color to like color in up here, but guess what? Now that I did that, I could now find a yellow. Let's see if that yellow looks good. Maybe. Let's see if this yellow looks good. I think that does-ish, right? Maybe this one. Oh no, whoopsie. That's not one I wanted to use, I don't think. I can sharpen that if that's the right one. I think we can use this one. I think it'll be okay. So now I have my little yellow. And obviously when I color, if you go back to like kindergarten and remember your coloring 101, the harder you press, the darker the color, or the more vibrant the color. So I'm not pressing very hard here because it's not an exact match. So if I don't press as hard, it won't be as obvious. What I love about dogs, I think we'll do the same thing here with the dogs. Just a little coloring, and having that outlined, the black part of the stamp makes it a little bit easier. You know, coloring outside the lines. It helps to kind of contain a little bit. So I'm going pretty quick there as I do my little drawing, my little coloring. Very relaxing. Now, one of the things that I did, I won't do it on this list, but that I did over here is, let me show you one that would be really obvious. If I can find it. Okay, this one. And I did this when I wrote, but I used a marker, one of the retractable markers, to write over my writing. I did that there as well with the width and the stamp. So you can even use your markers to write over. So I could like write over what I and about if I had the right color marker, but I won't do that right now. So what I love about dogs. Now we're ready to roll. What I'm going to do is grab another stamp. I'm going to grab the Bullets and More 2 stamp set. Bullets and More 2. because I happen to know that the Bullets and More 2 stamp set, well, it has a couple pet related things. A cat, a little dog, and a paw. So I think I will use the paw as my little bullet for my lists. All right, so here's a little paw. I'm putting that bullet stamp set on one of my little stylus. So those are on sale today too. I think what I might use, I might use a gray. So grab out my little swatches, my ink swatches, and let's look for, where is my, I think we might want to go with Hickory Smoke because I think that Lost Shadow might be a little bit too light. There's Hickory Smoke, there's Lost Shadow, right? Yeah, so Lost Shadow, beautiful color, but I think it's a little bit too light there, so I'm going to go with Hickory Smoke. So let's grab Hickory Smoke in here. Hang on a moment. Whoopsie. Hickory Smoke. Okay, here we go. Now I will get my little tester out here. There we go. There's the little paw. All right, what I like about dogs. There's a little paw. And where's my list? This is where my little handy dandy workbook comes into play. That is like 4 pages worth for today. Okay, there we go. What else about dogs? I had to get my list. Would the color be different if you laminated those cards? Wanda? Possibly. I think it would, yes, I'm going to say yes. It would, I think, end up turning out like something like that. You know what I will do during the break? I will laminate, not this one, but I'll laminate my old swatches. I'll laminate one of my old swatches. I'll laminate one of these because I have the laminator out, believe it or not. I was using it last night for something that we'll take a look at in a minute. So I will laminate one of these and we'll see what it looks like. But I think it won't quite give you the same look. We'll see what happens, okay? I will do that during the break. Hopefully I remember. Nick will be like, you're doing what? You're supposed to relax. All right, I don't really like those there. But I have to put something there. I guess they have to go there because I left space for it. I'll work on that later. It's fine. Don't worry about it, Lil. Okay. What about, they're so loyal. Their loyalty. Right? Dogs are so loyal. Like no matter what, they are so forgiving. They are so loyal. So that's one thing that's, I think, really special about little doggies. They're loyal. They love to snuggle. Now, I realize not every dog is like that, okay? Hi, Fran. I realize not every dog is like that, but the dogs that we had, these big giant dogs, the Old English sheepdogs, absolutely, they love to snuggle. So, yes. Unconditional love. They love unconditionally. Right? It's kind of like their loyalty. They love you no matter what. They love you no matter what. If you forget to feed them, they still love you. If you're having a bad day and you yell at them, they still love you. Hi, Fran. You're watching your grandsons this weekend. Good for you. I bet that is so much fun. Okay, again, different dogs, right? Just like people. Not all dogs are the same. Not all people are the same. They're always happy. Or else they always seem happy, right? Not like cats. Cats always have like a could care less attitude, right? They're just kind of like, meh, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with you. Dogs are like, doo-doo-doo. They're so happy. Tina said they're like babies, right? They love you unconditional. They're very loyal to you. They're always happy until they turn into like 3-year-olds. They're great. They can be, okay, again, great therapy animals. My friend Karen, that's been a dear friend for, oh my gosh, like 30 years. She, they have Goldens, and they've had golden retrievers like whole life. Well, adult life, married life. And their last one, Stella, was amazing, and she was the most amazing therapy animal. So some dogs, if they're the right dog and trained, they can be amazing therapy animals. But even guess what? They don't. I guess it depends on what kind of therapy animal they are. To go into public places like a school or a hospital or an airport, they have to be trained. But they could just be your therapy animal. They could just be comfort and give you therapy that way. So great therapy animals. They're compassionate. Again, they can be, depends on the dog, right? Depends on the dog. Some of you are looking at this going, hello? Have you met my dog? Okay, so what did I just do? Where did it go? I need to get this out of the way because it's causing my brain confusion. What did I just do with the, oh, there it is. The stylus. Jeepers creepers. Jeepers creepers. They're protective. Sometimes to a fault, right? But they're protective, right? They're very protective of their people. Very protective of their people. Their best friend. They're a best friend. They're always there for you. I tell you, like I said before, the mantra in our house with Nick right now is no new pets, no new pets. We travel so much and we're both gone and we both have super busy lives. But I tell you, sometimes I'm like, I want a dog or I want a cat, another cat. They're selfless. And then they're very forgiving. I love that. They're great listeners, Lisa. They are, right? Unless sometimes if you want them to do something, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're not so great that way, right? They're forgiving. All right, so there we go. There is, I will do probably a little bit more work on him in a minute. I mean, not right now, later. I'm going to lift this guy up because I left too much room down there at the end. Gentle, gentle, gentle. There we go. I think I want to put that right there. Like that. Okay. So there we go. There is my first list. What I love about dogs. That will be a 2-pager. That one will go, again, if you missed it earlier, my existing Traveler's Notebook I've been working in is out for photography right now for the idea book. So I'll have it this week, and so next week I will put this in, but my list will be like that. So full photo on the left, full photo on the right, and then my little list on the left. My cat list I will finish up later. So my cat list, though, will be very similar. Totally different things on the list, though, right? Totally different things. Although the one thing I'm going to do, I do want to I want to find what kitty I want to put on here, okay? Let's see what kitty. Those are our last 2 cats, Poe and Q. Like many cats, they like to climb into things like baskets and boxes and things like that. And they're both doing that there. So let's see what I want to do for kitty. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this one could be really fun. Oh, let's do that here. So, oopsie. We better adhere this first. Let's get this adhered first. And then we can put this down right there. And then I'll finish that list later. I will need to come up with a second page, right? And I'll just find cardstock or something, but I will do that next week. Or do that this week so you guys can see it next week. Terry, this is, yes, it's Pet Shop Dog and Pet Shop Cat. It is linked in the things I'm using today in our session, in this morning session. Actually, both sessions, same link. All right, so I'm going to put the pet stuff away for now. Let me just move it over here to the side. Stack it on the floor. And we'll do this and this. put those together. I need to put these in a separate stack so that they're easy to retrieve later. Let's have a quick hydration break, friends. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Lisa said cats are great hunters. They absolutely are. That is one of the things on my list. They will keep you, they will keep your house and surrounding area pest free because they like to have the little mice. And then if you don't know cats, cats like to bring you, that's their way of showing love. They bring you their things that they get like that, like the mice, which is sometimes a little startling. Okay, so we have about an hour before we break for the first part. So morning session is much shorter than the afternoon session. We will break at noon Pacific and we will start again at 1 o'clock Pacific for part 2, separate link. Okay, Terry said, so this is the first list. Well, I must have missed a lot this morning. Terry, we talked about, today is day 1100. 1100 days ago was the very first Saturday that we did this on YouTube. We talked about new stamps. I told you the whole story about how the new stamps came to be with Christine of Pop Daisy Art. And yeah, so we talked about lots of things. Okay, so for the rest of the morning session, we are going to talk about one of my loves. Oh, actually, hang on. I need to clean that little guy. That was the little bullet stamp. I need to clean and put that away. Put that away. So while I'm doing that, we're going to talk about, where I put, there they are. We're going to talk about something that I call out the window. So in January of 2020, Nick and I were coming back on a flight from Hawaii. Now, Nick and I, outside of the pandemic, are very fortunate to go to Hawaii once a year because Nick has customers there and there's a big trade show there. So we get to, and when I say get to, I get to tag along, go to Hawaii once a year. Sometimes he goes more than that. So we're on our way back from a trip and I was sitting at the window, which I love to do. When I'm on an airplane, I always like the window if I can get it. Because I like to take pictures out the window. I like to look out the window and take pictures out the window. And so I've had lots of out the window pictures on my phone, camera roll for years. Hang on, I just had to move off to the side for a second and grab something on a different tray. So we were flying back from Hawaii and we were flying into LAX and there was, oh my gosh, the most amazing view out the window as we were flying in over the city. And I will show you what it looked like here. It looked like that, okay? So here we go. I'm out the window. You get all the city lights. The sunset is happening and then the sunset is reflecting off the wing of the airplane. And I'm like, oh my goodness, and I'm taking all the pictures. And then later I'm like, well, I have all these pictures. I really should be doing something with these. So in March of 2020, literally right before the pandemic, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a traveler's notebook. I'm going to do a traveler's notebook that I call out the window. And I'm going to start documenting all of the photos that I take out the window, out the airplane window. And so I started putting together different stamp sets that were from Carrie Bradford. That was an alphabet. This was a block number set. This was a block, so separate numbers. This was a different set with the month and a different set with the year. So I kind of decided, well, for this traveler's notebook, it'll make it really easy if every time I document, it's the exact same format because it gives a nice continuity to the look. And it also makes it really easy for me because I don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. So I put all those different stamp sets together to create that. And I started documenting that way. So I travel a lot. And I don't, if I take a picture out the window, there's no picture to take, doesn't look very nice, then I don't document it. But as part of that process, I'm documenting the 3-digit airport code of where we're leaving, 3-digit airport code where we're going, and then the date, and then just a little blurb about that, and then the photo. So here we go. That was February. That was February 20th. This was February 29th. This was March 4th. This was March 6th, March 8th, Minneapolis. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? All the frozen lakes. March 8th, March 8th, March 8th. And then guess what happened? March 27th, COVID. So I was supposed to fly out of town to teach at a store in Colorado, but I couldn't. So I thought, well, this might be kind of fun to document, leaving Salt Lake, going nowhere. And then I just found a photo on the internet of a bunch of planes lined up. And then kind of started continuing to document as traveling started up again. So I did all of that for quite a while. And then someone said to me, Lael, you do this whole out the window thing and you're cobbling together stamp sets from somebody else to make your little kind of layout. Why don't you have your own out the window stamp sets? And I went, duh, why didn't I think of that? So I have a stamp set called Out the Window. And the Out the Window stamp set is, I'm going to grab these things out here. If you ever need to know what the 3-digit airport codes are, you can just Google them. So if you're not sure and you're trying to document this way, you just Google what the 3-digit airport code is. But your itinerary usually tells you that too. So the Out the Window stamp set is a 2-part set. So it's a 6x8 set and a 3x3 set. Kristen, the very early days, those were Carrie Bradford. The very early days were Carrie Bradford. Those block stamps and then the outline stamps. So these were all Carrie. And I don't remember offhand what the names of them were. I know that was block, but I don't remember what those were. And then I just kind of made my own little grid. Or that's those block stamps. That's how you did that. But here, with these, you have a 6x8. The 6x8 has the alpha, it has the numbers, it has the months, and it has 4 years, 2021 to 2024. And then it has a little stamp that says Out the Window. Then it has this. That comes with it. That is a little 3x3 size. Let me put it this way. And in that 3x3 size, you have the little grid. It makes that vertical and 2 horizontal lines for you. And then you have your icons, the airplane, the boat, a couple of different cars, an arrow, a train, and of course, an RV. So once I did those stamp sets, I have converted to using those. Very similar, but now with a fun little icon in the middle, your grid, your day, your month, and your year. And then I just write that little information to the right of the grid. So airplane, airplane, airplane. I'll talk about why I've skipped in here for a minute. Then I started a new insert. And the new insert, Kristen, was that you that said, why don't I do my own stamp set? Thank you for that, my friend. Look at RV. So if some of you are looking at the stamp set going, well, you know what, this really isn't my thing and I don't really travel a lot on an airplane, but you know what, I drive all over the place and we have an RV and we travel everywhere. Well, look at, there is a photo out our RV, back when we went on a trip to the Wedge in southern Utah. That's called the Little Grand Canyon, May 22nd of 2022. So look at the difference here. Let me pull these two out. Look at the difference of the out the window in an airplane and now the out the window in something else, right? A car, a boat, somewhere where you don't have like a to and from destination. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to have a 3-digit airport code when you're driving somewhere. So I use the alpha stamps to stamp where we're going, the Wedge, and then I just put Utah right there. So there's an example in an RV. There is an example out the car, right? So it doesn't have to be out a plane or an RV. There's an example of out the car window. We were in our RV with some friends outside of the Grand Tetons, and then we were in his truck driving to Jackson Hole just to spend the day, and I took that out the car window. Those are the Teton Mountains, the Grand Tetons. So there you go, car. So very versatile set. Even if you're not documenting out any windows, even if you just look at this stamp set, that has all the numbers, all the letters, all the months, and 4 years. So I want to talk about this process a little bit because I get asked a ton of questions about how I do this and how to start this and how to approach it and some tips on making it easier. So let's talk about that. Let me grab my little notes here in my handy dandy workbook. This would be number 4 out the window. Okay, here we go. First thing I do, I take a ton of pictures. And if I wasn't filming with my phone, I would show you this on my phone right now. I have an album on my phone. So at least with an iPhone, and I'm sure you can do it with Android as well, you can create albums in your camera app. So I create an album called Out the Window. And anytime that we are traveling, whether it's car or plane or RV, I take those photos and I just save them to that album. So right there, when I'm ready to sit down and document, I am not having to take a lot of time going through all my photos, trying to find those photos. So I put them all in there. I don't know yet which ones I want to use, but I put them all in there. What did I mean by that? Start print. Oh, okay. I guess what I meant by that was next up, and I don't have to be in a position right now when I'm doing this. I don't have to be ready to sit down and start like stamping and doing my documenting. If I have some extra time, but I don't want to get out all my supplies, I can then go through all my photos and print out the ones I want to use. So that's what I've done. I've done 2 here. I print out ones that I know I want to document. Very lightly in pencil on the back, I put the date and where they were. So that's all the information I need. When I'm ready to sit down and do this, I have the information. I have the date and I have where we were. So I don't have to be ready to start this process yet, but I can do a lot of pre-work. If I'm printing photos or doing something like that, I can do all that pre-work right ahead of time. So that's the second thing that I do. The next thing is I have created a template. Let me back up one sec really quick. You saw that I had skipped around some pages here. The reason I had skipped around some pages was that I needed to create some samples for the idea book. And I always round my corners of what I'm doing. So I needed to know what was a left facing and what was a right facing. So don't laugh. When I was at a retreat, not a work one, when I was at my friend Lizzie's retreat in January, I did this. So I made a list of all the trips, all the Harvey trips, and all the flights. So I had it kind of all together. I know it's not pretty, but it did the trick. So that then I could go and figure out, I just wrote in pencil, oh, this one is for February 9th from Salt Lake to San Diego. Skip that one. Oh, this one I did. I'm going to put this here. So that's why I had skipped pages in here. And sometimes you feel like working on something and maybe not on something else. So it's okay to skip around. Just leave yourself a little note what you wanted to put there. So that's why I kind of skipped around a little bit right there. You don't have to go chronologically. All right, templates. I use a tool called the Misty. The Misty is a stamping platform. It stands for the most incredible stamping tool invented. Literally, that's what that stands for, Misty. That's why it's called a Misty. The most incredible stamping tool invented. There are other manufacturers have done something like this since Petunia. My Sweet Petunia, I think, is the company that does the Misty, I think. Anyhow, other manufacturers have done them since then. This is the tried and true. This is what I have. I actually have 3 of these, friends. I have 2 that are this size, and then I have the smaller size, like the 4x6-ish size. But this is the one that I definitely use most often. So what I do, I put my stamps. Well, let's just do this here. We're going to pretend. No, we better not pretend. Well, no, we're not going to pretend because we're going to really do this. But I want to talk about something. Let me think about the best way to do this. I'll back up for a second. sometimes, kind of like when I talked about getting your photos ready to go in advance, sometimes you might be printing a lot of photos, so it's just easier to get all those photos printed out for when you're ready to use them. Same thing when you are stamping. Just like before when we did what I love about cats and what I love about dogs, while we had the stamps out, I figured I might as well do both at the same time, do a little assembly line. That's what I do for part of this. These lists are made up of different stamps, right? This is one of the stamps. Just the grid is one of the stamps. So what I did one day, I just prepped a whole bunch of those. A whole bunch of those. I used a lot of those. Boy, I need to do this again. Oh, there we go. There's some more. I just prepped a whole bunch of those ahead of time. So those are now all ready for me to go, okay? That grid is already there. When you use these stamps, it has to be a two-step process. You have to do the grid first before you do this because there's padding around the grid stamp so that the lines are straight. So you have to do this one first and then you do all of this, or at least this part. So that's what I did. I get all of those things all prepped and they're just ready to go. I prefer to do this type of documenting in my traveler's notebook on a separate page, and then I adhere that to the page in the insert. The reason I do that is so that I can use this tool to do my stamping. It's very difficult. It can be done, but it's really hard to get your whole traveler's notebook insert in here to do your stamping, okay? So if I'm just stamping separately on a separate piece of paper, do all my work here, and then adhere into my insert, that works a lot better. Hi, Valerie R. So there we go. This is pre-cut, just like, well, let me see. Let me tell you, where'd my ruler go? I don't know. I will grab another one. Of the 8,000 rulers that I have. Okay. So this is 4 3/4. So this is not going to be a surprise. 4 3/4 by 8. So the exact same size that I do with pattern paper when I start. So 4 3/4 by 8. I cut a bunch of those down ahead of time. Then I get my grid stamp set up and then just stamp a bunch of those over and over and over and over and over again. I'll show you that process when I do kind of the rest of the meat of the stamps. So hang on. One of the things I just realized I need to add to my little templates is where that grid goes. When I was doing the old way, I had created a little template like this. One of the biggest questions I get when I do this is, how do you know where to put everything every time? How do you know if you do this a month apart, how do you know where to line everything up again? So there's consistency from one of your layouts to the next. So I had created this little template. And I just did a little drawing. I had stamped and then I drew the little grids because you have the grids here on the MISTI. I had said put these stamps 2 in from the left and 1 up from the bottom. The size of the paper, 4 3/4 by 8. The size of the photo, 3 by 3. So that was my little template. So every time I remembered what I wanted to do there. And that I kept with those stamps as I was using them. Now what I did here, with my new stamp set, I created little templates that I laminated. So, oh yeah, my sweet petunia. I stamped on one of their little grid papers that comes with the MISTI. So this is exactly where I need to set things up every time. I adhered that to a piece of cardstock where I had also stamped and then laminated that. So now this is nice and sturdy, and I keep that with this out the window stamp set so that I always have that. My photo tells me it's 3 by 3 with a thin border, so I always remember that. My paper is 4 3/4 by 8, so I always remember that. So that, I always have that to remember. Here's the other version that I do. So I have both of those to always remember, nice and laminated, that goes with my things. So I had already done my little grid, right? I'd already done my little grid. Now what we want to do is I'm going to show you how I go through the process of now actually documenting one of these guys. So we'll do this guy first. This guy was August 13, 2022. We were on our way to, we were on our way to the Oregon coast, but this was just outside of Wells, Nevada. So I have that. I know that the date was 8/13. So I need, on these stamps, I need the 0. And I need the 8, like that. Instead of creating or lining them up over here, and I'm going to pull these off right now. Instead of lining them up over there, I will tell you, I also cheat. I have 3 stamps, three of these sets that I interchange. Instead of lining the date up over here, I can take my 0 like that and my 8 like that and line them up right there exactly where I want them. And then they're face down, right? They're face down as if I was stamping them. Then I just close that little lid. And that picks them up and puts them exactly where I wanted them, right? Right there. So now I need to do the same thing. This was in August, so I need to pull off July. And I can put down August. Let me get my tweezers, it'll be a little bit easier. Put August right there. Little guys want to stick. Well, I'm trying to get that to place where I want it. I've had lots of fun conversations with people about this stamp set. You could do your, oh, come on, Lil, hang on. Let me just get this closer to me so I can see. That's good. You could do out the window of your house. You could do out the window of your job. You could do out the window of school. You could do out the window of the house, watching your child get on the school bus or grandchild or anything like that. So there's some really fun things you could do with a stamp set like this, just documenting that whole concept of out the window. You could even do something looking from a door or a window in your house into somewhere else in your house, which is a little hint of, out the kitchen window. We did talk a lot about that, Denise. Out the kitchen window. So you're looking out the kitchen window in the spring, summer, winter, fall, and just documenting what you see. So it's just kind of a fun way to document things a little bit differently. There will be a kind of add-on set to this coming out later this year. I don't want to tell you. I have to keep it. I'm going to keep it to myself. There are some fun things coming though. There are some fun things coming that kind of go hand in hand with this, but different. Hand in hand, but different. One for airplane, and then maybe some different doors and windows. Okay. On my walk. Colleen, I love that. That's a great idea. On my walk, right? There's so many things that, a lot of us like to take pictures, but sometimes you're like, I don't know, how do I even document that? I don't know what to do. So that could be really, really fun. On my walk. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. I need to write that down. All right, so there we go. There is that information. So that's the date, the month, and the year. Now what I need to do is I need to add the letters for Wells, because this was outside of Wells, Nevada. This is where my little template comes in handy, because this little guy here, I just stick this right here, then I know, put it right here, that we are right about this line. Now, we're right here. Hang on. I don't know why, because I know someone is thinking, Lael, why didn't you use the grid when you did this whole thing? Like, why are some of these in between grids? I don't know. They just were. Don't ask me why. because it makes it a lot easier if you're not in between grids. We're about right there. So these kind of have to go in a certain place because they are all surrounding that little grid, but up here, who knows? All right, so now I need wells. Oh, I also need, that was out RV, that was out Harvey window. There had just been a big storm. So this will go, I think about right, ooh, this needs to go up a little ways. This will go right up about, hang on, right about there. Okay, now let's get out the letters. W, E, oh, I know what we're saying here. Yes. I think, no, that won't work. That won't work. Oh, no, it will. My goodness, golly. Duh. So here we go, Denise. This is what Denise is saying. Lay it on the paper, just like I did before. Wow. Denise, you're blonde like me, but you got that. Okay. You got to put them upside down. So, duh. Now that template really comes in handy, doesn't it? Wow. Don't mind me. Sometimes I figure out the most difficult way to do things, it seems, huh? You're all with me going, yeah, that makes sense. Your template's great. And then you're like, why don't you use the template? This is where I cheat and use 2 sets. All right. I'm cheating and using 2 sets because this will just be easier for us. If I did not have 2 sets, that's okay. I would just do 1 L. And then if I needed to, I would do a spacer. When I say spacer, I would then place the second L or move that and bring another L in and then do my S. But, I mean, not another L, you know what I mean. I would now move this, put the next L down so I would know where I was going. Wow, that just really didn't come out right. Hi, Nick.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Is it
You've
time to
not...
give something away?
Yeah, I think so. But, honey, you've not been very good about the giving away the things today,
We're
dear.
doing something right now.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay, no. Denise Dufresne said, I love templates. Denise, you are a winner. Oh my gosh, hang on.
I'm making lunch.
You're making lunch. Okay, hold on, Denise. Let me get this down and I'll tell you what you won. Denise is not a winner because she recommended this. Denise is the winner because when Nick came in at that moment, there we go. When Nick came in at that moment, Denise had just left a comment. All right, hang on. We're not quite right here. We're okay, but not quite right. So I'm just going to replace these. Sorry you have to look at my head. My hair's clean. I washed it today. I don't wash my hair every day. That's one of the things I learned is I've been trying to grow my hair forever, and my damn haircut lady has been cutting my hair for, sorry, I just said a bad word. My darn haircut lady has been cutting my hair for like 28 years. Last time she cut it, she said, oh, I'm just going to cut off the dead ends. And I got home and 2 inches were gone. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I was so angry. And I'm so angry every day because it takes years for my hair to grow. Anyhow, if you're trying to grow your hair, the less you wash it, it seems to work better for me. Okay, so let me look. This is a live one. Oh, I know what we're going to do. Okay. I need to take a quick mental break to talk about this. So many of you are so generous over the years, and you've done some amazing things. You've done some amazing things for me and sent me some many amazing handmade things or just little gifts, squirrel things. I have to show you this really quick. Nancy Mars, this just came the other day, but look at this. That's a little Christmas tree ornament. You may or may not know, I now have a squirrel Christmas tree, but isn't that the sweetest thing? So just such wonderful things. But over the years, a number of you have reached out and said, you know what, I would really like to give something or buy something from you and donate it to the community. Someone's done that with an Epson PictureMate PM400 printer in the past, gift certificates, all different kinds of things. So amazing things. Shelly, we're winners from that last listed live announced. They were not yet. I ran out of time this morning, so I will do that tomorrow from the last one. Anyhow, someone reached out actually about a month ago and said, hey, I would like to do something. And then she and I kind of time went by and we figured that out this week. She asked to remain anonymous, but I'm going to tell you just a little bit about her, how I came to meet her. About midway through COVID, and I know we're kind of still in it, but about midway through, I was down in Utah County years ago, well, 2, I guess. American Crafts had a warehouse there where anyone could go to shop. And I was there and I was wearing a mask because it was still, everyone was wearing masks. And I was walking around and I was shopping and my phone rang and I was talking on my phone. And I got off the phone and somebody said, Lael? And I turn around and I have no clue who this person is. Now, she has a mask on, I have a mask on, but I meet a lot of people. I teach a lot. So there's, and I teach this way. So you guys feel like you know me, but I have no clue who you are sometimes if I saw you in person, right? And she's like, Lael? And I'm like, yeah, hi. And I'm like, I had no idea who that is. She introduced herself and said, oh my gosh, I've been following you. I've been listing with you on Saturdays. I love Traveler's Notebooks. Oh my gosh, I have mine here with me at work. She was working there. I have mine here with me at work. She brought it and showed me, and it just was the coolest thing. So this person who has asked to remain anonymous said that she wanted to do some things. And she wanted to buy them from my website and then donate them as giveaways. And she placed an order last night, and oh my goodness, you guys, I can't, amazing. I can't even tell you. So this is one of the things that is on this live list for today. This is, Denise, tell me, pink or black? Denise is deciding pink or black. And while Denise is deciding, I am going to pull this out. Pink or black, Miss Denise? Every time I pull one of these prizes out that she purchased, I will make sure that you know that it was her, our lovely anonymous donor. While I'm waiting for while I'm waiting for Denise to tell me pink or black, she did 2 of these, friends. 2 of these she did. So one of these is one of these will be a live this morning. And then I'll do another one of these this afternoon as a live. Let me just put that over there. Did we hear from Denise, pink or black? I don't think we did yet. All right, so one of a Traveler's Notebook starter kit. So that is the Traveler's Notebook, and the rest of it is a zipper pouch, a number sticker tablet, a weekly insert, and a monthly insert. That is one prize. And she did 2 of those plus other things. So that sounded like Denise said pink. All right, so Denise receives a pink Traveler's Notebook starter kit from the anonymous donor. And thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are watching, then you know who you are. Denise Dufresne. All right, so there is another one is the black version of that. And so the starter kit, so we'll do that as a live one this afternoon. But while we're doing that, let me show you this one. This was also donated by her, all brand new. This is the Champagne Traveler's Notebook. So we'll do this as an anyone can play. So that is an anyone can play, the Champagne Traveler's Notebook. Oh, I'm doing this all over the board. Champagne, that is anyone can play. The way that you do that is leave a comment on the video once it's done, this morning's session. And then next Saturday, when we're together, I'll announce all of the kind of after the fact winners. So thank you, thank you, thank you again to our amazing anonymous donor. Angel time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, thank you. All right. So now what we're going to do, we are ready to roll here. Okay, we're ready to roll. But just as I always test stamp first, right? So what I'm going to do, I am not going to use this guy. I can actually, no, I don't want to use the backside. I don't want to use the backside because if I use the backside, we might see some shadowing or ghosting. So let me just get a piece of scratch paper here. You always want to do your testing because things may not be lined up properly. You may not have things quite where you want them. So, you know what? I will use one of these because we won't be able to see how it is in relation to the grid. So let's ink this puppy up. Let's ink it up. Shanita said, so generous. I love this. Yes, I agree with you 100%. I love you guys. And this has been a, oh my goodness, it's been a wild ride. So I said 1,100 days. This morning I'm like, Nick, Google for me, how many days? Then he was rattling off a bunch of other things. It is 1,584,000 minutes. 1,584,000 minutes ago. I did the very first Saturday on YouTube. Not on YouTube, but you know, during the pandemic of our little sessions here. And that is what we're celebrating today if you are just joining. All right, so now I need my little magnet that will hold that paper in place. And there we go. One thing I've learned in playing around with this a lot, especially with the grid, you don't want to apply a ton of pressure to this, especially with the grid. If you apply a ton of pressure, it'll make that grid kind of flatten out quite a bit and your lines will get a little bit thick. This is the one I'm using, the VersaFine Clear Nocturne from Sukaniko, and that is on my website. You'll see that linked in the things I'm using. All right, so there we go. Now let's look. Pretty good, right? I think I probably had not used the 8 before, so I had not primed that before. Here's the beauty of using a stamping platform like this. And I have linked in the description box of the video the Misty, if you are looking for a Misty. Like I said, there are other manufacturers that make them. This is just the one I use. I mean, they don't make a Misty, but they make a stamping platform. They were the original, the OG. So, because this is still in the same place, it hasn't moved. And my stamps over here have not moved. I can re-ink, and it's in the exact same place again. It is in the exact same place again. Yeah, I agree. You guys are saying right here, you guys are saying that it's a great ink. It absolutely is. So Monique said, Nick should add up how many hours we have listed together. So guess what, Monique? I have something planned. When we are together that first weekend in May, celebrating International Scrapbook Day, I will have all those stats that we'll talk about when I release the idea book, the Traveler's Notebook idea book. How many hours we've listed together, how many videos there have been, how many likes on the video. Yeah, so that'll be a fun stat. I actually was thinking about that yesterday, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not have the time to put all that together yesterday. So there we go. So it kind of refilled in some of those areas that weren't quite where they weren't quite full of ink. So really quickly, I am going to, I don't know if that's still wet. Let's see. Let me get over here. And I'm cleaning those stamps off with my little chamois. That chamois is linked in the description box of the video as well. I hope to be carrying those soon here. We'll see. And then a little microfiber cloth to dry that off. And that is a new on my website. Now, I didn't spend too long trying to clean that because you can see I've got a little bit of black residue on there, but those you can just throw in the wash. All right, so let's get that stuff out of the way. Now, if there are any little spots, so there's a couple of spots here that weren't quite filled in, right? Like couple spots weren't quite filled in. I can just take my little black marker and fill those in if I want. If I was using colored ink, I could use, take a little Q-tip and get a little ink on there and try to paint that in, or I could get a super fine paintbrush. I don't want to add any water to it, but I could take my paintbrush and dip it in the ink and then just kind of fill in some of those areas. All right, there we go. So now I would say Wells Nevada. I just put that right there. And where'd my little photo go? Oh, here it is. My little photo goes right there. Get that kind of even. And then I just do my little documenting right here. So, we had just driven through a crazy wind and rain storm that was scary driving Harvey. So Harvey is our RV, Harvey the RV. I was not driving, Nick was. What size is the photo? 3x3. Yep, 3x3. And then the white border is on the outside of the 3x3. So a little bit larger than 3x3, but I print 3x3 and then just cut a little bit of border. As we came out of the storm, we saw the most amazing cloud formations as the sun was setting. So that I just wrote off the top of my head. There we go. Now what I need to do, it is not going in my out the window airplane, right? We looked at the out the window airplane. There's the out the window airplane because this is not out the window of an airplane. This is out the window of either a car or Harvey. Or Harvey, our RV. So this is August 22nd. So I had skipped, let's see where we are. August 22nd. Oh, I need to show you that one. Oh. Doesn't matter. No one will know this down the road. This was not the 8th of August. 8 was the month. This was the 13th of August. But guess what? No one is going to know. We can make mistakes like that. No one is going to have a clue. So I am not going to redo it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm confused. All right. So now I know where it goes. It goes right here on this opposite facing page. I need my corner rounder. Oh, here it is. Just right there in my face. Need my corner rounder. So that's, yep, outside. Like that. Adding all of the dates, even if you don't have a lot of time to do your stamping or to get your photos ready, even if you are looking at the photos in your camera roll and you just take a pencil in your traveler's notebook insert and start writing out, in pencil, whatever you're going to put there. Then when you are ready to work, when you do have time, then it's a no-brainer on what you're doing. And we come in with our adhesive. And there we go. Another entry in my out the window traveler's notebook. So it's just kind of a fun way to document. And the easiest part about it for me is it's always the same. We don't have to think about, right? We don't have to think about the format. It's the same format every time. Although I did something a little wrong there, didn't I, friends? You can tell. I think I was in too much of a hurry because I'm way too high here. So we'll see if I end up redoing that one again. I know what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this one. This one was a trip in July. We were outside of Jackson Hole and we were boondocking. So no hookups, no services, nothing. We're on the edge of a Palisades reservoir, which is amazing. And Nick was right over here, had just built a fire. And I'm in Harvey, and I went inside to get a glass of wine, and I'm coming out, and I look, the door's right here, and I look up. Do you see what that is? That is a freaking moose, my friends. And I wish when I yelled at Nick, I wish I used the word freaking. Unfortunately, I didn't say the word freaking. I said something else because moose can be extremely dangerous, especially if there's a mother nearby. This was a younger one, Nick said. If there's a mother nearby, very dangerous. Because, mama bear, but mama moose. So I'm like, Nick, there's a bleeping moose. And so then I get back in Harvey and I'm taking a picture out this front window. I think it was out the front window of Harvey. Anyhow, yes, it was crazy. And you know what? That's a pretty small one. That one was pretty small. So Nick said he thought it was a male. Well, never mind. He said he thought it was a male and that it was a young one. Anyhow, let's see. Oh, Dandy. Okay, you guys are coming up with some great suggestions. Dandy's talking about maybe keeping the template taped to the front side so that it would always be there. I think there's some different things that we could play with. Hang on one sec. I was just looking for, where did it go? Oh, hold on. I got to cross the room for a second, friends, and grab something. Hang on. So I know I will end up, because it will bother me, I will end up redoing that one. Because for some reason I wasn't paying attention and I went way too high. I think what we'll do, you guys, so it's 12:46. So guess what I'm going to do? 12:46 Mountain Time. That's where I am. I'm going to do one more of these because I have another one ready to go. So I'm going to do another one. This is July 1st, 2022. We were on our way here, and this was, I'm in Colville, Utah, and it was amazing. No editing. That was the sunrise. It was absolutely stunning, and I think part of what made it so stunning was there was this farm here, all of these green fields. So it was just the contrast between the green and the sunrise, and then kind of the dark sky. It was stunning. It was beautiful. So that would be right here. And I know it goes there because it says 7-1 Colville. So that guy will go right there. Well, it will actually go on one of these like this. This will go here. So let me get out my little Misty again. So guys, this is what I'm going to do for the next, 13 minutes or so, probably 10 minutes. I will kind of get this guy ready. And then before we end, I will flip the camera and we'll just do a little bit more, we'll do a little bit more chatting about the rest of the day. Kind of what the plan is for the rest of the day. All right, so let's get this right this time. This was July 1st, so this is not a 4, this is a 1. I guess since I'm going to redo that one, I could just fix it anyway. Put the right date on there, the correct date. Now, I said I have 3 of these stamp sets out. There's the 3rd one. Don't ask, just don't ask, friends. Just don't ask. Carmen said when she lived, when she lived in Utah, yeah, you can run into them a lot in Utah, depending on where you are. Hold on. This is July 1. I do want to keep the 0 there. One of the ski resorts that is, maybe 10 minutes away from our house up one of the canyons, it's very common in the summertime. Like Nick and I will go hiking up there that you will run into a moose. Like anything, you have to be very aware when you are in the wild, when you are in the wilderness. You have to make sure that you're paying you're very close attention to what is happening around you and the sounds around you, because you do not want to come upon one of those, especially if there's a baby. You just need to be aware, and once you see them, you stay clear of them and they'll stay clear of you, and pretty much you're good. At our old house, so we moved 5 years ago, not far from here. We were about a mile away. When the kids were little. I was driving them to school one morning, and we crossed a big road, and we're like in a suburb, and I'm like, what is that in the middle of the road? What is that in the middle of the road? And we keep driving, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is a moose standing in the middle of the neighborhood, like literally just standing right in the middle of the road. We kind of live at the base of the mountain, so there's coyotes and that will run around. You don't really see them, you just hear them, and sometimes deer and things like that. But yeah, that was a little like, oh my goodness, what the heck, in the middle of the road in the neighborhood. All right, so I need to figure out what I did wrong here. Let me figure out what I did wrong there. See, it's good there, right? So how did I end up so high right there? Let me look. Let's see how I ended up so high. This was here, that's there. So I am not sure, my friends. And that's there. Oh, I know. I don't know what I've done. This is too, well, that template is no good because it's too low. Okay, never mind. Let's figure out really where it needs to go. We'll get the old-fashioned ruler out and figure it out. And then I'm gonna have to redo my template. This needs to start from the bottom, about 3 1/4 inches. So this needs to start I am just flabbergasted. It's because this is too high, right? Why is my math not working? Why is the math not working? I need Nick. You guys, I am like, seriously. Oh, I know. All right, duh. This is the reason why. There is a little bit, probably a 1/4 inch. There's probably a 1/4 inch of extra. So much for my template. No, actually I can fix it. There's a 1/4 inch of laminate at the bottom of this. I think that is what is causing my problem. I said I need Nick because I'm spatially challenged. Sometimes things like that I don't understand. I'm like, why is that working that way? I don't understand. Aha. All right, that's what it was. That is what it was. So let's take off wells. Golly jeepers. I just hope that if you have never been with me before, you're not just shaking your head going, wow. Because those of you that have been with me before, you just know. Sometimes the blondness comes out. It just does. It just does. And if you're shaking your head, just know that, you know, it is what it is. I could say some other things, but I won't. Okay. It's probably because I need some nourishment. That's it. I need nourishment. The brain cells are not functioning. All righty. Okay. There we go. So this is Colville. This is a really long one. We'll have to see if we can fit it. Coalvi. 2 more L's and an E. For time's sake, I am pulling L's off of 2 other sets. What I will do is when I do the video, I will show you, I think the easiest way to account for spacing when you're only using 1 set, because let's be honest, if these weren't my stamps and I didn't have lots of sets, I would only be using 1 set. So how you can easily kind of account for that. So if we go, we'll be, I guess we could, I'm not sure how much room. This is going to be a really long one, right? Coaville. A really long one. Photo's not too small. The photo is, well, I don't know. I guess I should see. Yep, nope, photo's right. The photo is 3 by 3 with a little, probably about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. It's just, it's that other space that I wasn't accounting for. The extra that I had down here from laminating it, the laminate that was there. Coalvi. Spelling backwards, not necessarily the easiest thing to do sometimes, huh? Usually I would write it down on another piece of paper. Coal. This is also why you want to do a test stamp normally to make sure that you spelled it right. COA. COA. Oh, look, I'll have lots of room for little Harvey. Whoopsie. Ooh, barely. I'll barely have room for little Harvey. Whoopsie. Oh my goodness. You guys. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to close that chapter. I'm going to close this right now. I am going to flip the camera, and I will do that one later. I will do that one later. But now you get a feel. Okay, hang on. I'm rotating camera. Let me turn off lights, and we'll chat for the last couple of minutes before we break, and then we'll be back in an hour for our second session, okay? Yes, take a break, Lael. All right. Oh, boy. Nancy, did you see I showed your little thing? I don't even think I thanked you yet. It got here yesterday. I didn't even send you an email yet thanking you for my cute little squirrel ornament. Okay, let's look. Let's look, friends. We will start again in an hour. So we will start at 1 p.m. Pacific. Separate link. So link number 2. There have to be 2 separate YouTube sessions since we're taking a break in the middle. Second link you will find in the description box of this video. It will give you the link to session 2. If you just go to my YouTube/LaelByMail, youtube.com/LaelByMail, you will see the next video. Or if you go to the blog post, laelbymail.com, and click on blog, then you'll also see the link there. So should be super easy for you to find the link for our second session. Just super important to know that there is a separate link for our second session. Planning for this afternoon, we have 1, 2, 3 lists. Now we'll be together for about 4.5 hours, or maybe 5, or I don't know, maybe a little bit more. So we'll have lots of time. That's the plan, to do 4 lists. And then also to do a kind of a little demo on layering, successful layering. You guys ask a lot, you don't know how to layer. You say, I don't know how to layer, I'm afraid to layer, I'm afraid to like put different things together and things never look right when I try to do them. So we'll kind of talk about some tips for layering, and I'll show you some examples of lists that I've done, and then we'll just lay out some pieces and kind of start layering them, and we'll talk about some of those principles on how maybe things haven't looked right to you in the past, but if you keep some of those principles in mind, then they should work for you going forward in layering. Let's see. I'm just checking out the chat. Some people are going to run errands. Hopefully you get some nourishment. Oh, Shanita, I love it. Shanita said, I need a TN for out the cruise ship window. Yes. And then there's a little boat. There's a little cruise ship on that stamp set. What else, friends? Oh, giveaways. There's tons. And I better look, because I think we better do another live one. Let's do another live one right now. Those of you that are still here, I am going to, how do I do this? I should have said I was going to do a live one in a minute when I first started talking. So I'll just let you guys put in the chat for just a second or two. So just, and I'm going to scroll up in I don't know, just a minute or two, I'm going to scroll up in a minute, and wherever my finger stops on the chat, then that's the person that wins. But let's talk about what it is. It's one of the Listing with Lael workbooks. Okay. That is a U version of the workbook that I use for all of our Saturday sessions. So you can do your little sketches of your pages. You can do your what the lists are, the product that you want to use, you title ideas, layout ideas for singles, doubles, that. All right, so I'm going to stop. And that one goes to Gail. Uh-oh, I just lost it. Gail someone. It went too fast. Gail someone. Is there more than one Gail? It's actually Lael with a G. Lael with a G just won. Gail, are you still here? Gail, are you still here? Gail. I don't know which Gail it was, and they're going so fast. Gail. Is Gail still here? Hi, Judith. Gail Churches. Gail, you're the winner. Gail Churches. Okay, Gail, thank you. You win. Let me just write this down. Gail, you win that Listing with Lael workbook. Gail, please send me an email, laelbymail@gmail.com, and the subject line, put listing with Lael workbook prize, and then give me your address, because I forgot about that part when I told people earlier. Give me your address so I know where to ship that. All right, you guys, there's still lots of prizes this afternoon. So some of the prizes are live, like we've done this morning. Other prizes are after the fact, meaning that you can watch at any time. Really, you don't even need to watch. You just leave a comment on the video when it's over, and then next Saturday before we all get together, I will draw more prizes. So we have prizes that are live, like we've done, and then there'll be prizes that anyone can participate in, including you, because even if you were here live, you can still participate. Okay, guys. It's ready. It's 1 o'clock. So I am going to, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm going to end the session, and I will see you guys again in an hour at 1 p.m. I have my time written down. I will see you guys at 1 p.m. Pacific. Remember, you can shop while we're breaking if you haven't already shopped. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye. Bye.